You don't make any mistakes. You never have. You are knowledge. You are blameless, perfect in every way. You create evil for a reason. It's not without purpose. You do all things after your own counsel. Thank you, Father. You are sovereign. So you don't need to seek anybody. You're perfect. Again, that's Holkadash. Father is the spirit that's in us that Paul said, the inner man. So he is holy, pure, without any darkness. He is Ruach. Ruach is holy. So none of us are, all of us have darkness. All of us fall short of the word. That's why we need that mediator, why we need Shiloh to stand at judgments, the final trump for the judge. Just kind of got pulled with the judge, you know. So you pay your fine. The judge doesn't care the crime, right? If the bail has been set and they paid the bride price and you get, yeah. See how that works? People don't think about it that way, do they? They make it a religion. So they won't have a crown. He said, I come quickly, like a woman in labor, like a thief. Come suddenly in the night. So they'll be taken like a thief. They'll be overtaken because they're not girded. They're not doing what it is that Father made them do, right? He only makes his bride. He said, if I didn't call out to the hearts to seek after me, not one of them would. Not even one of us. So, nope. He makes us do it. No accepting. You can't accept. So, that's the beautiful thing about this covenant. That you don't get a choice. No free will. No chance or no luck. It was already written. If it wasn't written, he's the creator. So the writer and the author, you could blot your name out, edit, you know, Control Alt Delete. So yourself right out of the wedding. So you're going to be the person that sends yourself to hell. So it's a wedding or hell. What do you want? Wedding or hell? So if you're not excited about a wedding, then you're not the bride. I guarantee you that. That I guarantee. I wouldn't bet on it because there's no luck, but or free will. But you want to put that on paper. If something's good, put it on paper. Remember that something's good, put it on paper. Is that like a prenup? So. The Jewish race, there's no such thing as Jew. So, nope, never heard that. Jews, that's like Sonic the Hedgehog or World of Warcraft or some kind of Call of Duty skin character, whatever you're. There's no J, so I don't know what J is. Not has nothing to do with the Old or New Testament. That was never written in either, so there is no Jew. So you don't know what you're talking about there, Jason. The letter J was not the last added letter. It's Yod, not Yoda. To the American, they speak American. They don't even speak any formal dialect, dysglossa, tongue. It's alien. Alien means foreign. So they speak New Mystery Babylonian. How about that? Called American. So you speak American, you golf or you whack balls. Oh, wait, you drop nets. Golf. And the Gulf. How about Persian Gulf, huh? How about Iran, eh? Where'd you go? Did you run away, Jezebel? Don't go away, mad girl. Just go away. That's how she girds. So, no J. There's no J. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, L, M, N, P, Q, R, S, T, V, W, X, Y, and Z was not the last letter added to the English alphabet. So, there's no such thing as Jew. I've heard jokes. How about that? Most people are jokers. You can't turn goats into sheep. Remember, it was already chosen from the foundation of the world. So don't try to change a man. That's wrong. Even my dad taught me that. He said you can't change anybody but yourself. Nobody is Jewish. There's no such thing as Jew. You're an idiot. So, idiotos, ignoramus. Most people are ignoramuses. So they get offended because they don't have any definition in them. They're in hell. They're worried about going to hell, and they already made it to hell because they can't define even the word abyss. That's Tartarus, Hades, the pit. It's Revelation 9:11. It's the abyss. Most people can't define Revelation, and I am Pastor Revelation. So if you're not a living apocalypse, then you need to, you might want to go define. He said, I am the aletheia. Aletheia. That is the truth. So you don't know the definition. You don't know what the hell you're talking about. Words matter. He is the word. So he said, if you add, that's alchemy. You're a brewster. You're whipping up a brew in your cauldron there, trying to stir the pot. That ain't going to work. Go smoke your pot somewhere else. Or your weed or your whatever bush you're smoking. So don't smoke marijuana. Remember when Kevin said that to the cop? I don't smoke marijuana. That was pretty funny. Like, oh, it's his and it's the guy next to me. So anyways, all right, speaking of marijuana, they got the Sam Squatch going in here. Got the freaking, seriously, got the Rugrats. They got to pull the rug right out from underneath you. You're going to be mighty disappointed when you think hell is below your feet and you find out that's not, you've been there the whole time. Whoa, no, what the hell is this? This is hell. Yeah, you're already there. You already made it. So don't worry about dying and going to hell. Judgments is not hell. That, well, you'll gnash teeth. How about that? You already do that. People just talk out the side of their neck. You know what I'm saying? Them little wind up teeth. You know, the gnashing of teeth. They're just, that's all right. Father doesn't make, most people go to hell, remember? Because they can't even define hell, so they're already there. If you can't define hell, then you've already made it to hell. That's the great thing about hell. It's self-explanatory by definition. Definition, get it, is everything. So, all right, thank you, Father, for the word. Father is Hokadesh. Father is ghost. Okay, how about that? No, there's no ghost. Father is ghost. If there's ghost, that's Father's the final trumps, not some dude on down in the X, you know, go inside, flatten the curve, you know, put on a face diaper and act like a child, you know. The right to choose, my ass, right? So, you know, somebody at forward point of contact, you know what your ass is. So, well, no, somebody you can't learn, like a goat, you know, greatest of all time, you know, MAGA, high priest of the Satan Church, you know, MAGA, peace and save maggots. They're all Democrats and Republicans to me. Remember, you mix red and blue. They had that in Rome. You get purple people eaters. So that's what they do. You think it's just McDonald's? Hey, yeah. I'll be the crazy one like Noah. And then it rained, huh? So, yeah. It's like have big drops, you know. How about hailstones? Stone, frozen. It's called high pressure. You know, think about pressure. That's the word theolobo. To be pushed from both sides. So remember, from all sides, to be pushed, pinched like a refiner's fire, be burnt by fire. How about by blood? It's baptizo. Pitch, blood, stain, or die. Not water, you didn't water down. Watered down, remember? Water. The age of deception is over. Welcome to the apocalypse. You made it. So, yes, it is. It's called Adderall. They have them here in America. They're a bunch of Mexican Americans. They go to their Mexican cabinet. They're quite out of their minds. So they put labels on people now. Just everything. You know, you're a C3PO or you're R2D2 or LGB32D2 or whatever that letters or yodes. Remember, it's yode. So like to play with Yoda gods. So you've seen too much. I know your eyes have deceived you because you're an idolater that's serving your eyes. Ghoul's an idiot, doesn't know what love is. Get away from me, child. This is an adult stream. You came in here and interrupt. Quit being so rude. You don't know your ass from a hole in the ground. You couldn't define anything that comes out of your pie hole. So, pie hole. Yeah, your American pie. Go stick your little round peg in somebody else's American pie. Keyhole. And squeaking through underneath the door crack. We got another one here. Remember, anybody who tries to buy any other way is a thief and a robber. So, watch out for ghouls and goblins, right? Goonies, how about that? We got Chunk in here, remember? It's a label. They like people like to be labeled. Oh, I'm a doctor. Yeah, I'm a lawyer. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I do it by the case. It's a case by case basis. So it's wholesale. Don't worry about it. I give you a fill up the whole truck. How about that? Get you fell off the back of the truck deal, huh? So, anyways, these people remember, no, it fell off the back of the car. It was supposed to be left there, but oh no, hey, watch out, they got to make their own laws, right? So they're halakha, caca bullshit, they're all full of it. Dung, how about bat dung, guano? You're full of guano. So, but that's not for me. Again, Father, their head is up their fourth point of contact. Remember, children of darkness. That's, yeah. Well, ass is somebody who can't learn. Remember, has a stubbornness. Not that they thought they will have a refuse. They're sitting there like the earth. Can't be moved from its foundation. The earth is the ruled. See, they don't want to learn. They're MAGA, high priest of the Satan Church. Well, greatest of all time. Remember, the greatest. Remember. So when I seen somebody who's blogging, doing some man on street videos. I should do some of those sometime, but I won't. I don't know why. But fathers, I don't know. But anyways, he was talking to these maggots and this maggot, whatever, this younger maggot. I don't know what kind of maggot she was. Some kind of. Anyways, like something that could fly, like snowflake or whatever you want to call it. They don't need a label, but he was asking when America was great. So I want you to put in the chat, when was America great? Or get out of here, go somewhere else and pull your own chain somewhere else. It's got keys to knowledge. See, that's solar. I ain't got no solar, so get away from me. Come on now. Anybody, Bueller, that doesn't have a wrench? This is a wedding rehearsal. Learn to love, to learn. Yeah. Well, Father makes us do that, though, so you can't. When the White House is burning. All right, so. I don't know, man. It's a pretty big wreck right now, isn't it? The old swamp rat going there, or the swamp creatures, whatever. I don't know. It's quite. Look, you're not going to change this. The best thing you can do, right? Is put your face in that word. But when was America great? So, when was America great? At what point in time, if we're going to make it great again, when was America great? So, and we have people from outside of America here, and so they get their opinion in the matter too, right? Mind over matter. So it's family matters. Don't be rude in here. You can't cheat. Don't try to fornicate with alien yods or whatever you're trying to haiku or put down your poetry in motion. How about that? Let's keep it aligned to what we're talking about. So, when was America great? We're a stolen nation that came over here, genocide. We've been at war. I figured out what is the biggest problem on this rock. Let's see if any of you can answer this. This is for you with the wrenches too, my brothers and sisters. I don't have any family on this rock like that. You know what I'm saying? So seems that everything. So Yeah. Well, I'm just curious, like I said, we came over here and, genocided all the people who were here. They were pagans. They're not natives. They've been wandering for millions of years. Borders move, flags get burnt, flags change. The names were not changed to protect the innocent. So, it's getting quite obvious where all this is headed. I don't see how people can't see this from a million miles away. This is all by the script. So if you know what the scriptures tell you, you know exactly where they're headed with this. So, and it just, if you look around, what's everybody doing in America? What's going on? Nobody's talking about it. This is the only country in the whole world that has the right to redress grievances, and then with the with the Declaration of Independence, it's the duty, not just the right of the people, to instill a right and just government. So I just don't understand how people can support any of this in America. I don't really care about, like I say, because I don't have any friends or family. I don't have that. I'm glad that I don't. I don't relate with the world. I don't relate with anybody I know on this rock, other than the word itself. you know, um, so it's not the end of the world. That's what people are. They're pushing all this fear porn. This. It's controlled. It's all controlled. There's nothing that's not happening by chance here. That's not something that Father didn't already write. And if you could wrap your brain around that, and then you'd stay the hell out of the way of this. This is not something we're supposed to. There's a time to speak up, and there's a time not. That this time is past in this country. You could put a fork. It's the United States of Israel, run by a bunch of PDF files, and no protests, not one single. The only country in the whole world that actually has the right. Texas is the only one that in the United States of Israel formerly had the right to secede from the Union, but this isn't a constitutional republic. There's no need to do a State of the Union. They should do the State of the Corporation. This is corporatocracy. This is fascism. And this is the only country that's doing it, but this is the main hub where it talks about in Scripture. If you partake with this system and fornicate, the wrath will be poured out on you. Alas, that's going to come one day. So I don't think anybody in America sees where we're headed, and that's fine. I'm too old to get drafted. You've been drinking too much beer. I don't know what you look at the head on that. Never mind. It's already started. Like I said, I mean, I'm not going to stop. You know what I'm saying? If we don't go to war with one country, we're warring with another country. We never stop warring. You know what I'm saying? The answer is to not partake, brothers and sisters. It's all it takes is non-compliance. I'm serious. It's not even that hard. It's what this channel has been shoving in your ear hole year after year, is that it's non-compliance. It's don't purchase. It's go around the system. It's be your own system, but nobody's going to do that. Less than 1% of the U.S. populace is self-sufficient or grows their own food. It's a bunch of slaves. Americans are slaves. Their minds have been enslaved. Government is mind control. Mental, govern to control the mind. So anybody who supports this right now we were a constitutional republic. The people, we the people of the United States of Israel, formerly the United States, formerly a constitutional republic, now a corporation, but we the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice. We're the government. Ensure domestic tranquility. We are the government. Provide for the common defense. We are the government. Promote the general welfare. We elect these people. We are the government. Do you understand that? No. They don't know any of their constitutional rights. They don't even follow the Constitution anymore. I'm a prime example in my life. I've been violated of every right except for my First Amendment. So, okay. So, if you're going to be judged by the law that you go by. That's what the word says. If you go by some corporate law, and that's what he stood up to at the time, was the big boy club, the Pharisees. They had made up what was called the Halakha and Haggadah. This was not the Torah. This was their Targum and their Mishnah. And this was a perversion of the oral, right? They made an oral law, like Moses was given the law orally. The scribes scribed it into the stone tablets and scrolls, right? Was Genesis, Leviticus, Exodus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, the 10 Commandments that was housed within the temple, right? I mean, this is known, right? This is part of what we're, you go by this perversion of this corporate law. That's what he sent his son, because they had perverted his law. That's why he sent his son, because they perverted the law and to fulfill all the laws of flesh, all the fee. He said it was fulfilled. It says, forgive us our debts, not trespasses. Go look at your scripture. And if it says in the master, because it doesn't say Lord, it says, right? If it says trespasses, you're reading the wrong scripture. He said it was fulfilled, to fulfill all the fines, all the celebration, remember the blood sacrifice, all the sacrifice. Eye for an eye. He made this a completely new covenant, correct? He made a new covenant, but he didn't abolish the law. He abolished the laws of flesh. That's why he sent his son, because they were perverting his father's law. Remember, he said, you froward my father's agape. That's right. That's why I'm on the grid and off the grid now. You're going to have to go by the system, brother, sister, but you got to start getting out of the system. One water filter, a bag of rice and beans for your neighbor that ain't got nothing. The kids, they're going to need stuff too, but the best thing you do is get away from anybody, get away from it now. This is not the time to be charitable. It's just be charitable with the agape. Remember, don't boast because be charitable with this covenant. Remember, he made this new covenant, brothers and sisters. He didn't love everybody back then. Remember that sacrifice, all these feast of end gatherings, the celebrations, the laws of the Sabbath, letting the land lie fallow, resting on the seventh day. These were all, this is all fulfilled. And so if you go back and you do these Old Testament laws or rip him down from the tree he hung from, you put yourself right back under the laws where one sin was death under the Old Covenant. Testament, flesh, not Hokadesh, right? Hokadesh is spirit. Wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against spiritual wickedness in high places. Correct? In Ephesians. What was Paul writing? Yeah, you might want to go read the 13th Apostle Paul and read all his writings. Deuteronomy. Remember Old Testament, Corinthians on this side of this covenant. You have to have an understanding, or you're not going to have a crown to set at the feet. He said, I come quickly, and that's your inheritance that you receive from Shiloh, the one who stands before Father at judgments at the final trump. Not some dude on Twitter or X, tweeting all night and sleeping all day. That'd be a good song, huh? Tweet all night, sleep all day. It's probably that little 34-year-old secretary that's writing those tweets, huh? What happened to Melina or Ivan the Terrible, Ivanka or whatever, Ivan or male? Make up your mind or your decision or your bender. Stop bending gender. Gender bender? Is it Barack Obama? So, okay. But either way, again, this is a corporation. So it's Walmart law. It's corporate law. That's called corporatocracy. Fascism, when the government combines with the corporation, the business. Put one in the chat if you disagree with me, because you can, but then you can leave because you're an idiot. You're part of it. You fill out a W-2 if you're an American. It's kind of ironic that we have probably more regular subscribers that come back and frequent this ministry that are not from America. Thank you, those that are not from America. As soon as I can leave, I have basically 1 year. We'll see. I'm going to leave the minute I can leave America. There are more people locked up in America than all the other countries combined. There's a guaranteed 80% occupancy of a private prison guaranteed before it's ever built. Who do you think puts them in there? All the cop suckers, road raiders, whatever. Remember, I used to do this. I know. Whatever. These are people who are responsible 100% in this government for the death of my son and daughter. I'll call them out on it. They told me I can't talk about it anymore. They took my First Amendment right. The only right I had left as an American until I can leave the country, and I can't. I'm stuck in America because I stood up for your rights, America, but you don't care. You don't care what soldiers go kill people, for you and your sake and your rights. Rights. You don't care about rights. You care about freedom. There's no freedom. Freedom's a theory. Rights. No victim, no crime. If the man or woman's not hurting anybody, leave them alone. Yeah, you know how many people are sitting in a freaking prison or a jail cell without a victim? And the state can't be the victim. This is halakha law, you dumbasses. You keep going by this. That's why I didn't take a misdemeanor and now I'm a felon, because I stood against the law. I could have taken it and been out of this country and out of here. Yeah, maybe should have given unto Caesar. No, I'm going to answer to Father, right? No, I don't want to answer to Father. I don't want to put myself into the Old Testament laws of flesh, where one sin was death. I need that covering. I've done things in my past. Just my name being Tracy, growing up as a white boy named Dick Tracy in Los Angeles in the first part of the 70s, right? That was not an easy task to walk down the street. You ever have to, fight to get your lunch money so you can actually eat at lunch? You're that kind of where, you got a monkey on your back wherever you walk. Not literally, but you know what I'm saying? There's always something around the next corner. You never live like that, huh? Well, the time's going to come one day where the flip, it's going to flip like a switch, and it's going to be easier to die than it is to stay alive. So enjoy your time off. Enjoy this leisurely time where nobody's breaking down your door trying to put you in the draft, conscript you like we did to all those Ukrainians that you paid for, America, stupid ass Americans. You don't have any accountability for anything. Welcome to the age of accountability. Welcome to the age of consequences. Welcome to the age of revelation. Oh, you haven't seen judgments? There's one judgment. Okay, this is a process. All this lifting of this deception. Aletheia has been standing there all along. You don't need nails and hammers to make it erect there, Peter. Get away from me, Nimrod. These truths have been here. We don't live in the age of deception anymore. We know these people are PDF files. They take them to the island, Trumpstein Island. Stop calling it EpiPen Island. It's his island, Mr. Warp Speeds. Yeah, Back to the Future, right? It's been on the dark web and the white papers for how long? How many decami? Put your hands up. It's a stick. Ain't nobody going to jail. Through me, how many times for you? But no, I'm just going to sit there and lick the boot. You're a bootlicker, and you'll be going by that bootlicker law when you're judged, just so you know that. Same thing happened at the time when he sent his son. So you keep forgetting that you have to stand against its non-compliance. Non-compliance, not violence. That's revolution. Put 6, little pieces of Lego round and round and have the red team, blue team, fight. That's what they want you to do. No, you wouldn't think about evolving and go around the system, wouldn't you? Oh, go the other way. Oh, no, I can't. I got to go with the flow. Oh, no, I better go like a clock, huh? Now I better find the other way out of here. Take the long way home. I already told you that. It already hit the fan, but if they lock down these cities, you better not take the shortest way out of the city. That's where everybody's going to jump on that route. The shortest way out of the city is going to be the longest way and get stuck in traffic. Going to take the long way home, and the home ain't going to be back to home. I'm telling you, better get the flock out of Dodge, you goat. Greatest of all time. You think you'd all figured it out, don't you? I don't make plans. Father wrecks them. So you better stand up against this perversion, because when judgments come, you are not going to be. You go by a perverted lie. I don't care which country you're in. Canada, whatever. It's the United States of Canada, America, Israel is all that NAFTA, the whole southern, North and South America will eventually take over. They're putting all the rail systems. They're putting all the routes, or all the highways run through that. Anyways, you don't even understand what NAFTA is, huh? Mr. Warp Speed talked about NAFTA, by the way. So, in the deal that Mr. Barack Obama, that, he paid him to and then tore up the bill and ended up paying him more. Kind of like he's repainting the swamp again, had to drain it and redo it again, because everything he touches, he turns to crap, so better enjoy this time where they're not putting you on lockdown. You think they were going to let you out of here. They built the wall to keep you in here, you dumbasses. I told you that how long ago? And I wasn't wrong. During the COVID, they literally locked these borders down. So they'll do it again. Why do you think they're rolling around people in white vans? Oh, whatever. Not going to be white vans this time. People asking you to get in because they got candy. It's going to be get in because you're going out to the draft, or you're going to go work for the government to pay off this debt that they keep spending $1 trillion every 100 days. Oh, wait, 1.5 for the military budget, head said, right? So just so you know, when your military budget exceeds your GDP, it means your country's in free fall. Just like Weimar Germany, here we are printing 100 days, $1 trillion. You come back here every day and I give you $1 million, and it'd take me 360,000 years to pay off you just $1 trillion. So you're done. You're done. You're toast. Just so you know, if you go by Walmart law, and we're going to call it all Walmart law because it's corporate law, then you better start. You judge that shall be judged. It's a good thing you have a cover. He stood against the law, and they threw him into jail because he ate wheat on the Sabbath day. It perverted that. Remember the Sabbath day? Let the land lie fallow, rest. Remember, everything had to be prepared on Friday. Sabbath is not Sunday. And they still, Feast of End gatherings, they still studied on Sunday. But you don't know anything about these Old Testament. That's what I'm saying. People are screwed. They are absolutely, I don't care. It's not for me to decide who's a goat and who's a sheep. That was already chosen from the foundation of the world. But when I look around and I see people who go by these Waltons, they were the ones who interned American citizens and put them into work camps during World War II, right? No, the Second World War. There was no World War II. It was the Second World War. They called it the First World War. They didn't call it the First World War until the Second World War. They called it the Great War. So you might get your war straight. You're talking to a military police. If anybody's going to know war, it's going to be me, okay? We're the first ones to go into battle. Everybody reports to the MPs, military intelligence, Cab Scouts, all of it, everything. Marines, Semper Fi, tip of the spear, front of the line. Military intelligence, everybody reports to the 95 Bravo. They were the last ones to leave because prisoners of war. More field missions, more war missions, more garrison missions than any other skill identifier in the military. Most heavily armed killing machine, 4-man team in the military is the military police. So I know war. This is war. Wars don't start with bombs outside America. They start with tariffs. They embargoed, remember, Japan, cut off all their supply routes. That led to, they had no choice. Pearl Harbor, then Nagasaki, Hiroshima. So pick your two countries or cities, right? Or states that you think that Nagasaki and Hiroshima is going to land on your blunt force trauma to the head. Or maybe be from below, as is above, as so is below. You don't think that dumb, tell no lies, huh? The only thing it takes for evil is for good men to stand or change it for you, bad boys. Why? But I'm an American. That happened during the Second World War. They ain't already taken. Your parents were from Japan, but we were going to war with Japan. You were born in America. You went to a work camp. Which FEMA region are you in? Thanks, Father, for the resistance. So, you know what is going to happen to you. You coming down here too, Canada. I want to hear about it. Canada's too. Canada will be drawn right into this. They might go to the other side. They've been making deals with China. Yeah, they did. They made 4 deals with China since Trump's taken office, since they said they want to be the 51st state of America. Israel is the 51st state of the United States of Israel. So get your facts straight in here. I won't let you pervert stuff. Remember, suck it off kids and, oh yeah, these, fake Jews, if you want to use the letter J, from Japheth, Japheth, they weren't from the house of Shem's authority. Yeah, so these things matter. So you think that your ignorance is going to be bliss to you, but it's not. You're going to be gnashing teeth like you are right now. Be running your mouth and ain't none going to be coming out. Yeah, whatever. People in hell want ice water. You'd be opening your mouth for some kind of water, huh? The living water. He said you go to the deep water at the woman at the well and you'll never thirst again. Yeah, that's the opposite of hell, just so you know. It's not a literal water, you dumbasses. These people they don't know a parable. They don't know an idiom. They don't know a definition, and they go around talking about scripture. So let's just go back to judge that shall be judged. Okay? You're going to be judged by the authority that you go by. He said, have your loins girded in my service. So you have to get up off your fourth point of contact and serve the word. So I'm not calling for any kind of inciting violence or fire. Scott, I'm really talking about a fast. Do not partake in their unfruitful works of darkness. Oh, I can't go buy that genetically modified fruit anymore, and the stuff that doesn't even have one single, wormhole or one little ping or ding. It's just a bunch of plastic. Basically, there's no nutrition. It's just, yep, unfruitful works of darkness. There's a fast right there, right? Anybody who's not doing for the word, do not give them meat, right? If they don't want to work, give them fish. You got to be charitable and then give them a fishing pole. If they don't want to work, they don't eat. That's what it says. We don't feed people. There's another fast. Be in the world, but be not of it. There's another fast right there. Yeah. If you're loved by the world, love is for Father, not of the world, that's phileo, then you'll be hated by my Father. There's another fast. You can't do what the world's doing. So let's go back to the original subject. Yeah. If you're loved by the world says, give the cop sucker your license when you have the Fourth Amendment right to travel. You're the only country that has that right under the Constitution. You don't assert it. You look so weak, America. None of these jackboot thugs compliance. And I say peaceful because peace is antichrist. It's do not partake, not peace. There's going to be some people that get the boot put in their neck even harder. I know I've lost all my rights as an American. I don't have none. You are looking at an American that does not have any rights. Good. I hate this country. Good. I hate this country with a passion. It doesn't mean I won't stop serving the people. They're keeping me here, and here I am still serving this country. Look. So even the state, even this county that I live in, I don't like it, but it doesn't matter. I give unto Caesar what is to Caesar. Give unto the Most High, Elohim, our Father. Shiloh in the flesh was his, correct? You let no one take your crown. Don't spend it all here. You have to have a crown before you get out of here. That's your inheritance. You don't have that crown. Come quickly. Let no one take your crown. Very important. Remember, they put a crown of thorns upon his head. That was for not because he was the king, remember? So if you don't have a crown, you're not going to the wedding. So just keep telling yourself that, yep, there you go, VCR quality idiot. So you do what this world is doing, and I guarantee you, you're going to end up paying the price for that. And there is no free will. There is no luck. There is no chance. There's no such thing as getting saved. You can't get saved. I just got saved. No, you didn't. You can't get baptized as a process. It's over time that you become baptized. Repentance is a process. Salvation is a process. All this is a process. That there's no eye for an eye, quick, old, take care of it right there, whatever, like a stop sign right now. J.G. Wentworth, it's my money and I want it now, right? No, it's a process. Everything through salvation is a process. Everything, he said, long suffering, you must endure. So that's not short, is it? Endurance isn't you ain't got no stamina. Oh, we got a 2-pump chump in here. You ain't gonna make the ladies happy with that there, Peter. Stiff Peter, and now you petered out there. You got to rob Peter to pay Paul. Remember, Paul was an old man. He went for a long time, and they threw him in jail. So whatever. Ladies like a man that stand up to the perversion, and perverts too, and people who pervert Father's word. No, they don't care anymore. I don't really think any women ever care about any of it. I don't think either of us, one race, the human race, cares about his word. He says, when I return, no one will know my name, my agape, my authority, my Shem. We must have really this one up bad too. Remember, he had to make a new covenant. He said, I'll make a new. I'll have a new. He's going to make another new. Oh, what do you know? There you go, Joe. Not Biden. Remember, you knew I was a snake before you let me in. Then he let Joe Biden. So too much television, too much TV, too many jokers in the deck, huh? No, 2. You're supposed to declare 2 witnesses. You can't stop that until your last breath. So you'll go by the law that you go by. Judge that shall be judged. So you go by this Walton's law. You didn't stand against it. It's one thing if you stand against it and they still throw you in there, then you did not willingly do it, correct? You did Father's will, not your will. There is no self-will. Oh, yeah, there's self-will. You can do self-will, but no free will. It'll come with a price if you don't do Father's will. It's algebraic. Father's mathematical. Not meth, American. Get away from me. Freaking people in America. Too much fentanyl. They're bent over like Mr. Warp Speed Taco Bender says one thing and does something else. Kind of like Giannis, the two-faced Joker. Well, God with the cock, you know. Double dong. I guess that's what they're doing. But remember, liquor in the front, poker in the rear. It's lick them in the front and poke them in the rear with these guys. I don't even, and they're not one man standing up in America I've seen holding actual, you know, the right to redress grievances. What a bunch of weak ass men. This is the only country that has the duty. It's the duty. You are full of crap. Speaking of duty, taking a deuce. Yeah. Americans are gone. They're lost. I told you they have the right to do this. Instead, they're just going to get put in vans and Suburbans and whatever. These same ISIS terrorists that were running around the streets of this country are going to do the same thing. So they won't be white vans that say candy on the side. Get in. I got some candy, you know, or whatever. You guys are, I mean, America is gone. You can put a fork in this country. It is done. So it's a bit stressful to be here when all this is going on. We've been blowing everybody up for at least 50 plus years because of oil, and even longer, you know, 100 years just dominating. 1945, obviously, you know, before then, whatever, you know, we came over here, just annihilated everybody here pretty much. I want to hear it. Went straight to war. We had war, and that's all we do. So let me ask you this, guys. What do you think the biggest problem is on this rock? Besides America and Israel, the United States of Israel. Leave that out of the question. We know that's the biggest threat. If those two countries weren't on this rock, the gas would be a lot cheaper. There'd be a lot more people in Iraq and Iran and Syria and Lebanon. And, oh, yeah, look about all the genocide these two nations have caused on this rock. So what is the biggest problem on this rock right now? Put your answer in the chat. Put a 1 and put your answer so I know you're answering this one question. 1 and put your biggest problem. What is the biggest problem on this rock right now? It is obvious what the biggest problem on this problem is right now on this rock. Oh, well, self-will. That's a good answer, but that's not it. But everything's a pissing contest. Okay, well, thanks for your answer, Scott. Thank you, brother Nathan. Come on, guys, speak up here. You only get so much time on this rock, you know. Division? You think division? That doesn't help. Thank you, Sister Sabrina. That's the biggest problem. Well, can I get one more from somebody who's not a moderator in here? What's the biggest problem on this rock? I mean, it outweighs any single. I mean, I'll say this and you'll be like, yep, he's right. You won't be able to deny it once I say it. And I appreciate your answers. Come on, give me one more answer. What is the biggest problem on this rock right now? I know my visuals at this time. I knew it was coming. All right, whatever. I knew that interruption was coming. Let's see if we can get a 5x5, make sure we're back, and I'll tell you what the biggest problem on this rock. Thank you, Charles, for your answer. So. And you can tell me if I'm wrong, but I'm going to tell you once you're going to say it, and I don't think you'll be able to disagree with me. So, are we back yet? Apologize, we had a glitch there. We get sometimes the stream dumps out here in the middle. Take care. Diana, what's the biggest problem on this rock right now? What is the biggest problem on the rock? It's far. I mean, it outweighs any problem that we're currently having on this rock right now. Thank you, Sister Sabrina. Thank you. You have a Charles gave a guess, Scott gave a, well, I don't know, his guess. There were answers, not guesses or answers. I apologize. Hey, you want to inform that in the phrase of a question, use a lifeline or phone a friend here. You know, I say no, there'll be no pop quiz at the end of the stream here. So the stream might pop off, that happens, but so thank you again. We're gonna ask one more time, and then I won't keep you guys hanging on a string like a carrot, just chasing that same. Appreciate your answers. What is the biggest problem on this rock right now? We all have a major problem. I mean, it affects everything on this rock. That's my final hint. It affects everything on this rock, brothers, sisters. The biggest problem. Think about it. What is the biggest problem on this rock? One more answer. Anybody won? Y'all in? Y'all done? I got 3 now, 4. Anybody got 4 now? Bid now 1. 4.5 now 5. Anybody 5 got 4 now 5. 4.5 now 5. 75. Any 74, 75.5. Anybody for 75? AI. Okay, Charles, that's another good answer. Okay, Charles gave another one. People are the biggest problem. Humans are the problem. Everything else that's here and affected by us be having a problem if we weren't here. Weather, we can modify it. We can, I'm saying not the Yuga cycle, but humans are the biggest problem. Now put human in the chat. We just had the whole stream reset, so gonna have to hang in there for a minute, country minute. We'll get it back. So humans are the problem, brothers, sisters, but are you that problem? Think about it. Ask yourself that now. If you identify what the biggest problem, and I'm right, and ain't about being right or wrong, I'm part of the problem too. How can you stop being that problem? The only thing it takes for evil to flourish is for a good man to stand around and do nothing, brothers, sisters, and that is the key. It's non-compliance. Stop giving the system, feeding the system. I've never called for violence. I've never called for arms. I've never done any of that. I say grow food, get out of the system, move to the country, move to another country if you have to. I'm going to the minute I can. I am leaving. Who's with me? Who's going to go with me on the road? 1 year. Let's not make plans. Let's just prepare. Who's going with me in a year? Who wants to go with me in 1 year? On the 2nd, 2027 on their pagan calendar. It's okay. 5787. That's when I can leave this country in the 2nd month or in July potentially. So, no, you need to go, Diana. If you have any way to leave, go now. Don't stop making excuses. So, if you got to stay, stay. But the door's going to open up in 1 year. I'd like somebody from this ministry to go with me. Nobody came here to the ministry with me, but you go on the road with me. I'm going on the road when I don't have a warrant for my arrest so that I don't have to put anybody else in jeopardy, make anybody else put it. No, if I'm going to be talking about the gospel, I don't need a warrant for my arrest, correct? I'm already pissed people off enough as it is. So when you're telling people that Jesus is a Sex Pistol Cracker Jesus in Hispanic, they're probably going to call the cops on you. So I don't need a warrant for my arrest, correct? When I can walk out of here, I'll get all this straightened out. I'll probably get it all reversed, and I'll go back to having a clean slate again without, and have a record before all this stuff happened with my son. But I'm out of here. So a year goes by fast, brother, sister. I'm going to put my nose down, and my body's starting to break down. Like I said, I weigh less now than I did in middle school. I weigh less now than I weighed in middle school, right? I hate that word. Junior high school, guys. Junior high school. I weighed more in junior high school than I weigh right now. My body has been put through some pretty gnarly couple years, and obviously this 2-year whatever date coming up with my son, and then, every day I sit here and nobody's here with me to get this, enjoy all this amazing, stuff that's going on. I get to share it with you here, but I can't have anybody here reaping all the. I'm living the American dream, and I don't know what's wrong with you guys, but if you're American dream, then great. But why aren't you living the American dream? It sucks when you live the American dream, you don't have anybody to share it with. So that's, I think, what's been bothering me more than anything too. Kind of over this thing with my son. I'm not like that. It's just there's nothing I can do. I'm going to keep pounding on it, but it's just, I have to move on from this, and I have to keep going so that one day I don't know where he's at. It doesn't matter where he's at. So, but I have to keep pushing forward, you know what I'm saying? Humans are the problem. Tell yourself that, keep reminding yourself that, and tell everybody that. What is the biggest problem on this rock? It's humans. Imagine the lakes, the rivers, the streams, the weather, the oceans. This place would be a freaking pristine Garden of Eden if we weren't. If we weren't here, or if we didn't chase capitalism, if we were more organic with our, you know what I'm saying, with our ways, there's enough resources that nobody should have to pay for anything on this rock. Those who don't work don't eat. But paying for things, that's chasing a clock. That's capitalism. Father hates that. Father hates that. Hates that. Get away from me. You're a worker of darkness. And for the places, again, that were not, you know, conducive, there would be a making up of these things. That's called horse trading, a free market. You would dusting. That's not how that works. Those who don't work don't eat. You can't encroach on somebody like that. Remember, you used to be able to go in the field and glean, you know, from the field when it was growing. You couldn't take baskets with you when you leave, but then again, also there used to be, when all that stuff was around the outside of the field and they would harvest the field, all that stuff was with the people who had nuts. Just telling you, go judge that judge. So you're going to be judged by the system that you're going by. Whatever system you have in play, if it's the B system, you're going to be, hey, 666 is the number of man, not the beast. Don't worry about it. You're not safe there, are you? Oh, yeah, you think you'll be good there, huh? Because 666 not the number of the beast. So be sure no man deceive you. If you're loved by the world, you be hated by my Father. You're not supposed to be doing anything that the world is doing. For Christ's sake, they think they're spinning on a ball faster than the speed of sound. They're going to sell you some kryptonite to smoke, and you can leap tall buildings in a single bound. They're Batman. Get back in your cave, or Superman, whatever cape you're wearing. So, but I know this doesn't hit with some of you, and that's fine. I don't care what you think of what I'm telling you. I'm not here to impress you. I'm not here to get a YouTube subscription. I'm here to tell you that, you know, you are terribly making a huge mistake. If you're chasing a clock, that's Satan worship. Satan will change times, and time is not to be, time is to grow food. That's what time is here for, not to tax people and make people rich and make people poor and oppress people. Remember, he fastened the cording off the curtains, and he whipped the people, you know, in the it's selling the oxen. He whipped the oxen. Remember, he whipped the people. He whipped the oxen. He whipped the sheep they were selling out of the church because they had made it into a mercantile, you know, like a merchant number. Just like America, everybody's been merchandised by their Social Security bond number. $10 million by birth. Happens with your loans, happens in car accidents. This is what all this is part of your, people don't, I don't care what people think about what I'm telling them too, brothers and sisters. They're going to find out on the other end. They went by the Walmart law. I'll just make it very easy for you. It's a corporate law. Mandates are not for those aren't laws. I don't go on dates with men. Codes, ordinances, you know what I'm saying? Codes, ordinances, nope. That's for an LLC. That's for an enterprise. That is for commerce. I only operate in a private capacity. I don't operate in commerce. And that's the problem with Americans. So, and Canada's in on it too. Australia's in on it. You know, Quebec, all these other, they're in on it. It's Queen's law. It's merchant law. It's old law. Back to the water law. Land, air, and water. So that's why they bring you in, and it's all set up just exactly like it would be in you know, in old times. You know, it would bring you in to see the magistrate, the man in the black robe to scare you. You know, the chief of finance is the one in there is brokering the whole deal. He's brokering your merchant number because you've been merchandised. Remember, he whipped the people. You've turned my Father's house into a den of thieves. He hates oppression. Father hates oppression. All we've done, we are the money changers. America has forced everybody for 50 plus years since the Bretton Woods Agreement was brokered. They said, we're not going back by gold. We're going to OPEC nation. We're going to guard these oil nations with the greatest military ever. Stop thinking about the gold in Fort Knox. Now just pay with oil, or we'll drop freedom and democracy bombs on you, and we'll kill your women and children, and we'll have U.S. soldiers go in and rape your women and your children too, and you'll never see that on the news. No. Never hear about a U.S. soldier raping Iranian women and children, do you? Same IDF, they do the same damn thing. The United States of Israel, grow up. Nope, we're just going to shut up about this. And then when I get to be with Father, we're like, well, I was scared. Yeah, he said it wasn't going to be. He said you have to endure. That takes strength. Easy times breed weak men and weak women. Hard times breed meek men and strong women. Not weak, you know. So most people are weak and not meek. Oh, yeah. Little stupid things. I used to do it in science class. I was one of the first people I ever know to be able to do that. I remember a guy taught me how to do it. I never heard anybody before. And I was like, you got to teach me how to do that. I used to sit in the back of the science class, you know, in high school. Because it's real loud in there. You know, it's the floors. There's no... Teacher, always go back and check that back sink back there. The whole class knew it too. They really loved it. I was like, oh, I used to get in a lot of... I never got expelled from school, but I did get in some trouble. Got sent to the office several times. That didn't turn out too good for me. So, okay, but anyways, what I'm saying again is that again, you're the problem is you, brothers, sisters. The problem is me. We need to be accountable for what we're doing here. You go by this corporate law, you're going to be judged as a corporation. No, I ain't going to be there with you to hold your hand. It's going to be you, Shiloh, and Father. And he sent his son to stand against the Walmart of the day. Remember, he stood against perversion of feeing and fining and taxes and all that. They were the money changers. They were converting. Remember, you didn't bring a sheep or doves or whatever. That was all offered right there at the temple. And they were changing over from the old money to the new money and charging a living piss at them. Just like America. You're going to pay for our oil or we'll kill you. We'll blow your infrastructure up. Look what Mr. Warp Speed is literally threatening. We're the only... Think about hypocrisy, too, right now. If you want to go thrown in the lake of fire, then stand with a country that is the only country to ever use a nuclear bomb on another country and telling a country that's never attacked us. We've been calling them the number one state sponsor to terrorism, but there's never been a terrorist attack in America. And we're telling this country, we bomb. Remember Nagasaki, Hiroshima, another country, and we're telling a country that's never bombed us or never terrorist attacked us on a hunch, Mr. Warp Speed, they can't have nuclear weapons. You will be thrown in the lake of fire for just that. The wages of sin is death. That is called hypocrisy. You cannot tell another nation. As a matter of fact, I think the whole world should be coming against America, if you ask me. And Israel right now, too, because we're fighting, remember, a family. That's some... I don't care what you think. You're old enough to know the Vietnam, be here for that, or all right. Did we just dump the whole stream there? Oh. Hang in there. If you want these truths, it's not gonna be easy. Father will make you want it, not me. I don't like these truths anymore. I hate knowing all this stuff. I wish I could be the guy that only cared about how big my wife's boobies were, and I got a matching set of a, thong or whatever I can tote her around the football, football game or something, and the mud flaps on my truck can match the little flag on my lawn that can match her little, little thick pasties keeping her cover up as I tote her around at the barbecue, and all my buddies that's all I think about all day. Sometimes we go fishing. That's about all I can think about. I go to church on Christmas and Easter or something, or yeah. I don't know if I could ever be that guy, but obviously I don't think that's not going to ever happen. With this knowledge comes a price, brothers, sisters. It sucks to see people not get out of the way of things that are easily, hey, we're going to push this snowball down the hill. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So, so I don't care what anybody in this country thinks. I'm reverting back to my old, days of how when I first started blogging. I don't care what you think when I put this stuff out. 13 years ago, and everything I talked about 13 years ago has come to fruition. About 95% of what I put out on the internet, because I'm telling you what it is that they say they're going to do, not what I say they're going to do. So they're coming for your children. They're coming for your nieces, your aunts, your uncles, your whatever, your dad. There's dads out there that are 42, whole families who go off to war. Literally, I think they'll even lower the conscription rate if they have to, and, start doing it underage. They don't care, Yeah, that one to the south, that one came right out of Sister's Arena, and it was a sneaker too. Remember, it threw out a large, solar flare, coronal mass ejection, but it didn't have that large flare print. It was a kind of one of them sneaker. They'll do that, but the plasma density was, man, they're so beautiful. It's all imagery. It's all digital imagery, but it is pretty to look at. So, man. So, all I can do right now, guys, is put my head down and just drive out this next year. Just try to get through this next year. I mean, it's pretty much almost the same time as now. It might be a week or two after, because I'd have to file with the courts or whatever, but I have 1 year, guys, 1 year. And if I get any ability, I don't understand why people stay in America. Again, you have a better chance of being locked up and putting into a prison or a jail in America than any other country. Way more than putting in a Mexican jail. People worry about getting thrown in a Mexican jail. Well, don't act like an idiot down there, and don't be buying drugs, and don't be doing stupid crap, and you won't go to jail. The police down there are not that bad. It's the people who do stupid crap down there that go to jail. So don't get drunk and start fighting with people, or, they'll do that to you here. So, but I don't see how anybody stays in this North American continent. I just don't. And I don't even know if it's going to be safe in the South American continent anymore. I really don't. But thinking about leaving, just get all together, I don't feel safe on this continent anymore. North or South, that NAFTA is going to come to fruition. They're going to take over this whole, whatever. You can sit there, and borders always change during war, and we're in full-blown world war right now. So, well, that's right. So it's a lot, and we don't worry about safe, Sabrina, but you have the probability. I am a math person. There's a guaranteed 80% occupancy of private prisons before they're ever built in America. That is a crime. 80% beds filled, not built, before that's done, there'll be enough bodies to fill that prison. Private. That's disgusting. There are more people locked up in America than there is all the other countries combined. Yes, we have more people locked up in America. We're only 3% of the populace, and we got locked up more than 97%. All the other countries combined. And if they're not enslaved in jail, they're enslaved by debt. Debt prisons. They're going to do debtors prisons on people. They are going to do that again. If you owe debt to this government, they'll come pick you up in a van and make you work it off. No, they won't. Yes, they will. You these words. Oh. You better not owe any debt. You better not owe anybody. They know how much you owe. Everything's digital now. You ain't running from that unless you shook a hand on it and did it in cash. That's been tracked. He'll come back after you for that. You ran a flock camera. They're going to come after you for the stupidest things, guys. America is a police state. It's a prison state. There are more people locked up in America than all the other countries combined. Get it through your thick skull. This is not some free country. There is a county jail in every freaking county jail. There's state prisons. There's private prisons. There are more people locked up, federal prisons in this country than all the other countries combined. Get it through your head. Stop skewing the statistics. I'm giving you the facts. You have a better chance of getting locked up in America than any other country. You have a better chance of being locked up in any other country. No. The probability, the math is telling you that no, you will probably be okay. Just get the f out of America. Yes, it's debtor's prison. They've done this before, Ziggy. They intern American citizens. Their parents were born in another country, but you were born in America. You went to jail. You went to work for the country. You know what I'm saying? So this is not, this, you have no idea. This government is already legislated all this through executive order. Not legal, but you don't care. Congress makes the law. House, Congress, Senate, judicial, legislative branch, executive branch. Trump's in the executive branch, does not make tariffs or does not make laws. No, they don't. The man should be put in prison, and so should all the other ones that came before him. Obama put out 923 more executive orders than any other president in the history of this country. I did a video on it on Truth Bible Television. Go look at it. It's probably, I think that's the best video that I think I might have ever done. You know what I'm saying? Drawing off your bond number. You guys, it's not safe in this country. Tell me if you're in America while you're here. Put in the chat what's keeping you in America right now. What is keeping you in America right now? And if you can't answer that question, leave. I'm not going to even let you sit on the sideline. I don't care if you've been watching this ministry. You too, government, you need to tell me why the hell you stay here too. There's no new order. It doesn't say any of that, so don't push that crap in here. It doesn't say one world order. It doesn't say one world religion. And it doesn't say one world currency ever, not even once. So the system is resetting. It's already resetting. Not coming. It's here. That's the problem with the next set is coming. Digitally blockchain, tokenized, credit scored communism. And you're part of it already because you're already part of the system. You speak like the system. You're going in it. So you're already part of it. Just so you know, they're diabolical. You're not diabolical. You speak like the system. So it never says that. That's them that pushes it. Remember Hulkamania going wild, and now he's the NWO, right? And Vince McMahon body slam, right? By Donald Trump. It's all in the script. So, there, see World War III almost here. Look at this. Look at this, guys. Look at this Nephilim bully. This is what I'm warning you about, brothers and sisters. Almost here. Look at this. Almost here, baby. Calling for something that's already started. You are a complete ass, dog. I just told you, and you spit right after me more insanity. The Third World War has already started, dumbass. It never says one world religion, one world order, or one world currency, not even once. Get out of here. You are an idiot. You don't have no education whatsoever. I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt. Now leave. Don't put anything else in here. You're not diabolical. You're like that 250 fair. It's the girl's gone mild, and the crowd's gone mild. You have no substance to what you're talking about. Get out of here. Get lost. This is the kind of person that's going to a work camp. This is what I'm telling you. This person, are you under 42 years old? You're going to war. You're going to get drafted. You're going to work for the system. You already do. You push their propaganda. You're a CIA trained operative. Conspiracy theory coined by the central imbeciles and assholes. Whatever. Ask somebody you can't learn. So, moving on. You're going to war. I don't care what you say. I don't care what you say. This country will be at war, I do think, and I'm not making an exact time limit before Trump leaves office, or he's not going to leave office because of the war. It was the Democrats that, see what I'm saying? 32 years old, can't wait to go to war. You dumbass idiot. This is the kind of guy that's going to rape another person in another country, brother, sister. See what I'm saying? And I'm going to go there. It supports a rapist, you know what I'm saying? See, look, this is the kind of, you got to live with this, brothers, sisters. You better get away from this country. You better get away from America. There is a lot better countries. You know how much is a gallon of gas in Iran? Put in the chat, how much is 1 gallon of gas in Iran? How much is 1 gallon of gas in Iran? Oh, did you run away, Jezebel? Don't go away, mad girl. Just go away. You're Jezebel. The freedom bell, right? Freedom, da-dum, dum, dum. Deep underground military bunkers, bases. So, Would you stop it? Would you stop it? Would you stop trying to climb on top of me? My puppy's trying to get on top of Dad. He tried to climb on Dad. You can't climb on me. Put your paws down. Put your paws down. Oh, nice puppy. Please don't be smashing me. Don't be smashing it, Dad. Mr. Bobo. We love the Bobo. You're a good boy. You're a good boy today. You're the best boy today with the Dad. Okay. So, 11 cents a gallon, huh, Scott? Boy, I bet you like to pay that up there. You Canadian dicks up there pay even more for petro. You do. That's crazy. I live in Alaska. How come fuel's not cheaper up there? We got all the reserves, the BP, right? British Petroleum. Gas wasn't cheaper up there. Nothing was cheaper in Alaska. Eggs are cheaper in the country, and so are the RVs. If you go over there to up down the I-5 corridor, but they don't really make a whole lot of those RVs anymore, do they? Well, I seen a really nice guy's RV. I think it was a 2005 Winnebago. Really nice Winnebago, guys. I told you it's coming, and it's here, guys. It's here. It's here. $2,000. It had a title, 454. It ran. No issues with this thing. Cleaner than Skeeter's Peter, let me tell you. I'll tell you what. That take $2,000, guys. People are just giving stuff away right now. People are giving stuff away right now. I told you this time is coming. It's even better than I thought, and we are just getting started in here. 13 cents. Thank you, Scott. Look at this, guys. Look at this. So let's go through this again, because I didn't get your answers. And if you please answer it again. Tell me why you live in America. Now, Scott and Sabrina, and so we've got people that follow this ministry and subscribe to the ministry that are not from America. We do have probably just as many people, if not more, that are not from America that come here on a regular basis. So, but if you're in America, why are you staying here? What keeps you in this country? What is it that makes you have roots here? I can't leave because I'm on probation, because I stood up for my son and they killed my son and daughter. And now I can't even leave. It's like hell. It's a nightmare. It's like being menaced every day. And you guys can leave and you stay here. Why? Why do you stay in America or Canada for that case? You Canadian dicks, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to talk to you, you too, you other Canadian dicks in here. So where am I from? Well, I'm from my mom, but I'm from Creator. You know, my mom and your mom are both moms, but I was born in the jungle, in the concrete jungle. I was born in the valley. So I was born in the melting pot, one of the largest cities on this rock, but I am through and through country now. You wouldn't pay me to go in a city. I hate cities. I hate America. As a matter of fact, I hate everything about America. Look, I'm just asking on out. Don't go anywhere, guys. You'll be exactly where Father wants you to be. Okay. Apologize for the interruption there. So I just don't know what if what you see coming in this country. I don't know what you see coming in Canada. I don't know. I don't. You know, that's up to you. But I know what I see. I know what I see right now. I see gas at 13 cents in Venezuela. Yeah, I see gas at 13 cents in Venezuela. I see it at 10 cents in Iran. And you want to stay in America? It's $1,200 in most major cities. You can probably beat that back east. $1,000, but it's $1,000 to rent somebody's room now in their house in a city. You could take that money and you could live for 3 to 5 months. That's some people's electric bill. People have that kind of car payment. What the hell are you doing in America? Nobody answers it. I got a couple you answer, but you guys just sit around. You're the reason why this country's so successful, so you know, because you just shut up and go to work, and you keep paying slave dollars, and the system just keeps. It's there. There are other countries that are expensive, but there ain't no country like this. There is not a country where it costs nearly this much to live. Not across the board or percentage-wise. There's other places that aren't cheap to live. Absolutely. But it's not the whole freaking country, you know. I just see I don't understand it, guys. I do not understand how people can that's what I'm saying, Scott. It's disgusting. Get your stuff taken care of. I know you got kids. See, I can't leave. I got kids. I understand that. I totally get it. It's when you got kids, you can't just pick up and haul and leave your kids behind. But it says, he who loves the son or the daughter more than me is not worthy of my kingdom. Yeah. So not the little kids, guys. You know, if you got little ones, you can't leave your little ones, you know, especially if you're co-parenting and things like that. So don't, hey, better talk to your spouse. Say, hey, look, we better think about these kids. This is about the kids, not us. I mean, we need to take care of ourselves. The mask drops down, you know, and we don't put, you know, during the, if you're going down in an airplane and you put that on first so you can take care of the person next to you. You know, you got to take care of yourself first. You know what I'm saying? So the money that these people live on, and, you know, again, remember that young man I said from Mexico had the ice on the side of his surfboard and his little short bus, $17 from Chipotle. And he said $17 would last him all week in Mexico. And he could probably even get a couple cervezas. They might be Dos Equis or, you know, Modelo. They're, you know, but even a couple beers. I mean, he was young. He was in his 20s. So, of course, you're going to want to have a beer with a drink, you know, just with your meal. Nothing to get you intoxicated, but something with your meal. You know, you could still probably even have a couple drinks. You could go live $1 a day in Vietnam. $1 can last you all day, and you could still buy a souvenir and have a little money for the next day for $1. $1. Ecuador, $2 to $3 meals, full meals, drink, you know, starch, bread, meat, the whole food group. Not the upside down pyramid, real food. Fast food is not good in America. If you're poor, all you eat is poison. You're not wealthy enough to eat the food that these people, these elites that have their own cooks and stuff, they don't eat this goy slop. 95% of what is in the store, you're going to see 100 years from now, they're going to say what they sold in the American stores was poison. Poison, 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 poison. Brothers and sisters, it's not like that in other countries. Yes, they do eat some there, but our food has been banned. Do you care about your kids at all? The education, and they're teaching them to whack off in elementary school. We didn't get that class until high school. They're literally teaching children how to masturbate. They can tuck and strap and transition and do all these. Yeah, Baphomet. Turn your children into Baphomet and get in the way of it, and they'll send you to jail in some states. They're reading to in libraries dressed up like Howdy Doody. I mean, a clown. Never mind. So, but instead, Raggedy Ann's got, you know, Andy's, you know, pocket or button, and Andy's got her pocket. Jack and Jill, whatever you want to call it, gender, you know, bending. They cut your boy's little pee-pee off, and now he said he wants a unicorn, so he needs a stall at school so he can poop in the stall. And hay, got to have hay for him. She thinks she's a kitty. She needs a litter box. This is okay to tell your children this, that we went to the moon, right? You're okay with telling your children? Yeah, you told them some big fat guy was coming down the chimney on the roof up there. You tell them we went up there to the moon, right? Same place God's at, right? So nobody has any balls other than my moderators to answer why you're still here in America. And these people aren't even from America. That's great. They're from Canada. So, but Canada's in on it too. I'm not counting Canada out. You know what I'm saying? No. Don't go anywhere. I'm not trying to push anybody to go. So I just don't know why people stay here in America when there's so much better life outside of this country. You can have the best of both worlds. You know, you can always come back. America's not some, you know, tugboat. They're going to pull it around or something, you know. So I just don't understand how people can stay in this country. Like if I was Sabrina, I would go to Russia. You know what I'm saying? I go to Russia. If I was her, she likes that cold climate, whatever. There's more than just Russia. You got Siberia, obviously, but yeah, you're not going out of here. You're not getting anywhere. So you might as well find out where you want to be. Don't go anywhere, brother, sister. You're where you want to be. That's fine. I think I'm in the best spot in America. I don't think there's a better location in America to be. The only thing I could be here is just maybe tucked up in the woods here, but wouldn't even leave this valley. You know what I'm saying? I don't think there's a better place. I've got strategic location. I've studied that. I've had all the volumes. I've looked at all the maps and looked at all the cycles, the Yellowstone going off, all the 400, remember, all the raising and lower. I've looked at all these cycles, and this is probably the best place to be in the U.S., period. I'm at the right height. I'm just in the Goldilocks zone, where I'm at. So I've done a lot of research. Before I had a felony, right, I could move out of the country. Could have moved and been anywhere. And this is where I'm at because this is where I did my research. So, I could be wrong, but I don't think I will. Not after as much. I've done decades of research on this area. You know what I'm saying? So I did all that. Nice. Good stuff, Ziggy. So I don't understand, guys, why people stay in this country. It's so expensive to live here. The customer service sucks. Customer service in America is garbage. I'm not saying in some smaller towns it's not, but as a whole, customer service, you don't get treated. Go over to Mexico and see how they treat you there. Go over to Iran and see how they treat you. As an American, I dare you to go to Iran. If you could get out of this country, go to Iran. They'll tell you don't go there right now. You know the best time to go to Mexico? When they tell you don't go to Mexico. It's like going to Disneyland or Magic Mountain. You get the whole amusement park to yourself. So it's pretty sad, guys, that we just stay in our little boxes and they bank on this. So they bank on you staying home, flatten the curve, go inside, stand on the X, just be a little good debt slave, show the cop your bootlicker's license, just pay your little taxes, pay your 40% plus per taxes, and don't ever say anything about it. They started a freaking revolution, remember, a war over 2% through tea in the harbor. And I'm not calling for any of that, remember, but I just don't understand how people just stay here. So I don't have anything in. See, guys, look, Sabrina, Ziggy, he's not from country. Ziggy, right? I think we're enough to give up your location here. But again, like I said, the only people who are saying anything in here are the people really from right now that made any comments were the people from outside of America. You know what I'm saying? From outside America. Nice. So I don't have anything in common with any American. I don't. I've already served this country. I have an honorable discharge. I don't need to serve anybody in this country ever again. I need to stop serving America. I don't. I am not going to serve America anymore. They stripped me all my rights. I'm going to leave. I'll serve the people here for God, but I'm not going to serve this country. Ask not what you can do for your country. Ask what you can do for yourself. We're turning that back around. Hell with this country. This country's gone. It's a hell in a handbag. It's the United States of Israel. You're going to send your daughters over to kill people for Israel? For Satan, BB, Satan, Yahoo. Mm-hmm. America public doesn't even have any idea what's going on. That's the pretty funny thing, that's about it. They have no idea. You know what I'm saying? They have no idea what's going on. They just go to work. They don't really pay attention. They go watch the faux news. The Fox News said, hey, there's a bunch of people at this 250 fair. Have you guys seen, look, do you want to know what America's like? Look at this 250 fair. Somebody comment on the 250th fair. You ever been to a fair? What kind of food do they have at a fair? Rides. This 250, it's a flop. The music, everybody canceled on them. They couldn't even bring people in for see the food court. You see the food court? The celebration, the 250 fair. What kind of fair is that? All right, guys, I gotta go put my birds up. I've been putting the birds in the other. I'm trying to get them to sleep inside the cage. Oh, I'm reading some of your stuff here. All right, got all the birds in there. Got all the birds in there. All of them but one went inside their house. They were all in there last night, except for one. She slept up on top of the water container. But she was still inside the Rancho Pollo. She wasn't just inside her little wherever they're roosting bars that I made for them to get up there and roost. So, no, I've been actually the last couple of nights I've been snatching them off the barbecue and throwing them inside the kennel and sticking them underneath the door, trying to get them to go over there, but they don't want to just do it on their own. So I'm going to force them. So this time I went in there and like a dumbass, I should have shut the other little door, but they started coming out the other door. I could have had them all in there real quick, but I'll know for next time. But I threw a bunch of stuff in there and they all, whatever, some busted up tostada shells that I didn't eat. And they kind of got that little bit of a funky smell to them. It didn't take long, but I threw them in there and they all went in there, but they started coming out the other door. So I had just one, but I finally got her back in there. So yesterday we got 15. Today we got 4. So 4. So I have just too many freaking eggs, man. There's a whole nother batch to be water glass. Look at that. I mean, this is not even a whole batch. This is just some. This one lays pretty blue, I guess. This one blue is real. I got 3 birds that lay blue eggs now. That one's a little bit more blue, you can tell. The camera never does it any justice, but almost looks like a white egg. That's blue, a blue egg, but one more blue than the other. That's a blue egg too. It looks white. Look at this egg. See, look at how glossy this one is. It's like a pink. Yep, they're just like any other chick. They like to be chased around, exactly. Cat and mouse. Look at how shiny that is compared to like this egg. See, it's glossy. Almost like flat, matte, satin. Or would you like your eggs glossy or satin, You get a good variety of color. Look at that big jumbo. They lay some pretty good sized eggs. I wish I could give you these eggs, guys. These eggs are freaking so good. I eat eggs every day, pretty much. Almost every day I eat eggs. I love eggs from my head down to my legs. Isn't that crazy though? How some of them are. This one, she always lays some weird bubbles. She's ripply. This one, she always got some kind of ripple. They're not always straight. That one's not very ripped. You've seen them sometimes. They'll come out like freaking dinosaur eggs. Look like raptor eggs or something, but I got eggs for days. This is just a few days worth of eggs, guys. So. Oh. More eggs. More eggs. Look, more eggs. Oh man, more eggs. Man, oh man. It's coming out my. Yes, to have one that laid more speckles. I don't know if she just stopped laying for a little bit or what. Or maybe she just stuck with all the speckles. And then I got another 30, 640. Oh my goodness. Oh, crying out loud. Let's see what kind of sunset we're getting out here. Yeah. Some purplies. Some purplies. We got a purple sunset going tonight. Purple and pink. Pink and purple and peach and yellow. I got a little bit of a sunset going out there tonight. Tonight. I want all of you tonight. All right, I'm firing up my last. I made a burger earlier. So. Actually, I made chicken and dumplings too. Made a big old pan. I've already had 2 big, huge plates of it already. 2 big plates. Some homemade chicken and dumplings here. Scratch. All those dumplings are actually put a lot of egg, like 5 eggs. Look at how yellow the dumplings are. Look at that dumpling, how yellow it is. Oh, yeah. Oh, those are good. Buy at least 3 more meals out of that. I made a pretty big batch. Pretty big batch. Let's get a bun out here. A bun and some queso. Yeah, these are off the chain. I make some pretty damn good homemade chicken and dumplings. They're farm fresh eggs too, my dumplings. So they're heavy egg on the dumplings. So they'll just get better over the next, tomorrow they'll sit in there all night and tomorrow they'll be even better. Like lasagna. But, anyways, I don't know if I told you guys, I bought a mailbox. I bought a mailbox from $18.99. And now I'm having second thoughts about putting it out on the highway because it's all the way down 5 miles down the road on the highway. So I don't know if I should hold on to that box until maybe they'll move I do think one day there's enough traffic down this road that they might allow people to put their boxes on the highway. There's getting enough people out that they don't need to be up 5 miles. Everybody's box on this road is 5 miles up the road. And I'm the last road. I'm the farthest way, you know what I'm saying? But I bought a mailbox. It's from $18.99. It's old. It's vintage. I paid a little bit for it, but I looked online, the cast iron door, like to replace the cast iron door, if the cast iron door was broken, the cheapest one was $149 just for the cast door. And this one still has the original flag on it, and it's, it's a piece of, it's history, you know what I'm saying? It's not, so, it's an antique, obviously, It's from the 1800s. So I found another mailbox, kind of like the one I was really originally wanting to begin with. So what this mailbox is, it was made out of like a big piece of channel from like the highway channel. And somebody actually, it has like a slot for mail, or for like a newspaper slot. But the whole box is literally made out of that thick of steel. The whole base, the whole bottom, the whole box on top, the flag. That's what I'm thinking. I don't want that one. After I bought it, I was giving it a second thoughts. I'm like, man, I don't know if I want to put this thing out on the highway. It's, you know, I'll bring it out here on the stream. I'll bring it in. It's a big box. You know, it's one of the big boxes that I can get larger mail. You know, but maybe I could do something to modify this box that it is that I have too. I mean, I'll just put, you know, I can, but this box that I got, it's all one piece. It's all one piece. You know what I'm saying? It's the base is, you know, the steel is probably that thick on it. You know, the whole thing, you know, it goes all the way up from the bottom. There's a plate, then it comes all the way up. And then in the plate, they put a big place for the newspaper to sit. Now I don't get a newspaper, but, you know, it's kind of, it's definitely different looking, you know. If it was out at the end of the driveway, you know what I'm saying? If it was out at the end of the driveway, I'd probably be okay. But it's out there at the end of the highway. I don't know if I could be that trusting. You know. But anyway, so I found this other mailbox, and I thought it was in Bend, and it's not. It's almost 3 hours away from here. You know what I mean? But that one's cheap, you know. The guy wanted $200, you know what I'm saying, for it, which is nice. I mean, you can't buy a decent, you know, locking mailbox or square one, something you can put your package or something in for that kind of price. A good mailbox is a couple $100, not even with the post now, you know. So I just threw a random, you know, it'd been on there. I don't know. It was in a weird listing. I don't know how he listed it. I couldn't find it. And when I went back and looked, I had to go back in my email, and glad that I mailed him because I couldn't find the posting again. So it was under really a random. So it's been up there for like several months, right? So I threw him a $50. I'll give you $50. And he's like, all right, when can you get it? I might drive over there and get that box. You know what I mean? Because that box won't be stolen. That's not the box. Nobody can steal that box, you know. Plus, I can cement it into the ground. It literally's got where I can put lag bolts. I'll probably make a little base for it up there. Go build a little box where I'm up there before I put it in, and just concrete it into a little box, you know. But that's did somebody die? Uh-oh. Somebody died. Did you have a wake? Did you have a wake? Somebody died. Normally people don't mourn. We're not supposed to mourn. We're supposed to celebrate death, not mourn death. Why these people get it all backwards? So, as a matter of fact, we're not supposed to celebrate anything. Now, he fulfilled all the laws of celebration. Fee, fight, ritual, blood. That's a good burger. Okay, well, that's a it's in English. You're speaking English, and that's a dead language. So nobody died, right? You don't need to mourn. Top of the day to you from the UA. Thanks for coming in. I used to mourn, but not anymore. They killed my son, and I'm not mourning. I just miss him. So everybody's gone. Hallelujah. You don't have to be in this cruel world anymore. So when somebody leaves, we celebrate. Yeah, right. They don't have to be in this disgusting, filthy swine hole anymore. Thank you all for the days we got with them. We're not going to throw our life away, right? So. Pretty good burger. Anyway, I mean, people got it backwards. Ecclesiastes 7:1 says that we're supposed to celebrate, right? Death, right? Well, these people celebrate birth, and we're not supposed to celebrate birth. There's only 2 birth dates in all of Scripture. 2. That's it. One was Herod. He was trying to kill the Messiah, and one was the one birthed on December 25th in the middle of the winter, Apollyon, Mithra. They call him Jesus, but there's no J in the Old or New Testament, so I'm not sure what's wrong with these people. Oh, wait. They're the greatest of all time. MAGA. Oh, wait, that's High Priest of the Satan Church, remember? Mm-hmm. We're supposed to celebrate death. And we're not under the laws of celebration now. Remember, he filled all of that for us. So we don't do these things. So we're not going to get in his graces, by having more or less or covetousness. Remember, you like David, he covet Bathsheba with his riches. You can't. He knows that. He knows what's in your head. So God save yourself. What the hell does that mean? You can't save yourself. You already bought and paid. There's no such thing as being saved. You can't be saved. I just got saved. Nope, you did not get saved. That's not what Greek word is sozo. That's not salvation. So people are get it all backwards. See what I'm saying? Sabrina, our sister Zina, we are not to celebrate birth. There's 2 birth dates. They never celebrated birth. There's only 2 birth dates mentioned, that in Scripture, the birth of the sun god, the birth dates, and this is one was on December 25th in the middle of the winter, which is Apollyon. Mithra is what they called him at the time of Rome. Now they call him Jesus Christ, but the one birthed on December 25th in the middle of the winter, born in a manger. The Messiah was not. That's the birth of Satan, the sun god. The one manger is because they had sex with beasts. Remember, man and woman. It was a bestiality ritual. The masse, not ole, like George and the bull. Oh man, what is that? Oh. Huh. Ding! My phone just did something. Oh. But okay, again, we're not going to get the Father, but what is this all about? What do we got here? Interesting. I don't know. Something's going on. Oh. No, there's no Kimball here. No Kimball. Kimbo Slice. No, none of that. He said, I come to bring a sword of division. You could take your filet mignon somewhere else. No, this is the HD fat. That's where you're at. All right, hold on. take some chooch on some stovepipe. We're going to create the fog of war in here. It's the fog of war. No, it's the dogs of war. A man of hate. No call to discriminate. Discovery is to beat his own. They will die so that you may live. Oh. Somebody's freaking blowing up my freaking phone here. Something on the interweb. So I'm gonna continue to expose this system as it crumbles around me, not be the one that just sits there or was silent and went into the night, rode silently into the night, huh? Called the silent majority. That people are just not trying to do nothing right now. Bing. Let's see how this sunset in here. Or we're getting yeller now. We're getting yellow and red. We lost all that purple. She's turning yellow and red and orange. I checked sunset out here. It was really purple and blue and lavender, magenta and chartreuse. Oh. I wish I had a time machine. I could just go 1 year into the future. Where do you think this world would be 1 year from today? What do you think the state of America will be in 1 year from today? What will Donald Warp Speed do to this country in 1 more year? Oh, yeah. Oh, man, that was a good one. Oh, thank you, Baller. Oh, yeah. Don't normally cough. What was that? What will the world look like? Give me your description of the world one year from today. What does the world look like 1 year from today? Where do you see the world 365 days on your spinning ball camp? This one time in ball camp? Oh. So far, I think Nate might join me in a year from now. Hey, Sister Sabrina might get out of here from a year from now. Who knows? Damn, a year is a long way away, guys. That is freaking a million miles from now, isn't it? Freaking a long, lot of darks. A lot of darks. Oh. The nights are lonely, the days are so bad. I just keep thinking about the love that we had. Maybe when I come back in my next life, I'll be able to sing. Damn, Father, why won't you let me sing? Hey, if I could sing, I would be a bad man. I'll tell you that. If I would sing, that's a good thing I can't sing. I can tell you, I would not. I do horrible things with my voice. So. Why do they say people got saved when they give their lives to God? Because that isn't true. It says those endure to the end will be saved. That's right. You have to endure the end, Sister Diana, because they don't know the Greek definition. It's sozo, S-O-Z-O, not the definition. They don't know the Greek word for saved. To be saved, salvation is S-O-Z-O in the Greek. Remember, you have to study the Greek. I've already taught you how to do that. That Greek word is S-O-Z-O, and that means to be carried, lifted from beginning to a point, from a beginning point, lifted and brought to an ending point and healed. That's when you're saved. at the final trump. Remember? At the final trump. That's when you're bought, and he comes back, he paid the bride price, and he picks up his purchased possession. We are his purchased possession, what he paid in blood and flesh. They threw him in jail. Does anybody want to hang you from a tree? He said, follow after me. Put holes in you. Yeah. You got to do what he did. He said, conform, remember? In Paul's writings, the first to penetrate the matrix. Not some movie screen. Wrong matrix. So, wrong veil or whatever. Forget what they call that. Let's not talk about that. So. Let's not talk about that. People are in their own mindset. They think the matrix is somewhere outside of this birth. So they're lost, So thank you, ladies, for the matrix. The ladies are definitely the keepers of the matrix. So thank you, Father, for creating the matrix. It's not the most important thing in this world, but I'll tell you what, it sure is nice something to dive into or something, for a change or whatever. Never mind. Just go watch a movie or something. Okay, moving on in the conversation. Let's move on to the next conversation here. Where are we going? What's going on in a year from now? Where do you see this rock that you walk? Where do you see the state of the U.S.? Will the U.S. still be warring? Remember, Mr. Warp Speed, he was going to pull us out of Ukraine in 48 hours. He's going to make a phone call. Kind of like Mr. Mr. Obama? He said, I got a phone in a pen. Remember that? So, okay, but anyways, he said he could pull us out of there. His pullout game sucks like Joe Biden's. Remember, he left stuff behind. Your pullout game sucks if you're not supposed to leave anything behind. Remember, Bush, his pullout game sucked too. So, speaking of pullout game, huh? That's why you should bring a shield to every battle, right? Trojan man, right? Or put on the armor. So, especially if you're going into the Matrix. It could get bumpy. You get a little rocky too, huh? All right, stop it, Nimrod. Damn my So, why are you in the U.S.? There's 16 of you here. We're going to ask that question again. I'm going to keep asking that question all night long. Damn, I got something in my eye. Oh, would you stop it? Oh, my goodness. Whew. Hold on one second, guys. Give me 1 second. What the heck is that? That's a weird Facebook message. Oh, a little piece of freaking bone hair is what it was. Freaking bone hair. Mr. Boner. I like my Mr. Puppin Bone. Your children and your grandchildren. Oh, so you just don't want to have a life? No, that's fine. You can stay because I can understand, but I wouldn't. There's no way I would stay in here for even for Elijah anymore. I should have done it. I should have left when he told me to leave. That's almost like staying with your spouse for the children. Go live your life, Diana. You could have both. So you can stay where you're at. I'm not saying you can't go, but live your life for you. You're not getting any younger. Go do the things, and if it's your kids and grandkids you want to do that. There's nothing wrong with that. Freaking, I don't think, I think Elijah's gone. I don't think he was ever going to have kids anyway. So I think it's It's over. The Werner will be no more after this. Elijah said he's going to make sure that there is no more Werners. He's going to cancel out this whatever. Look up my family name. You'll know who I am. You'll see I don't come from. Just look up what my name is. Like I said, I'm saying as far as my last name is not, it's not hiding. It's right in front of your face. It's part of the Second World War. So whatever. Wars and rumors of wars. I didn't ask to be branched. Remember? My mother was on birth control. No, my mom was, not my mother. She didn't want me. So I wasn't supposed to be here. I came in here on this rock with multiple strikes against me to begin with, but some reason Father said no. This one's going to slip the matrix. So here I am. Revelation. Birthed again into the meat suit. Enslaved in the slave suit, in the meat. Here out HD fat, where it's at. So fat, get it? Was the best part of the meat. So you'd have to know your scriptural, biblical, and he writes the book. That's why he's in it, but he gets left out. And his story is not written. Remember, history's written in a book. No, that's one side. So you don't know history because you think you read a book. Takes a lot more to know history. How about maps? You study any maps? Israel is a man, not a country. America's a corporation. How about that? You'll be judged by the corporate law that you go by there. Halakha, Walmart. You and your Walmart law. Your tram law. That's Walmart backwards. Get in the back. Go walk about face. Rebuke. That means to do 180 degrees, turn around and never do it again, or you're the same old man, aren't you? Go back to who you were. It's like hitting that bottle or that glass dick, huh? Chooching on the meat cigarettes. All right. Thanks for your answer. Nobody has the balls to answer. They think they're spinning on a ball, but they don't have the balls to answer, so. Or the two lips. Remember? What's better than roses on your piano? Two lips on your organ. So, bank on that. Bank on that. Careful where you put your treasure. Your jewels. Pearls. Oh, thank you, Father. So again, I'm here just because I have to share the light, and I don't want to because I don't like America, and I have to stay here. So it's okay. I'm not mad at anybody other than I'm more frustrated with my decisions than anybody else's decisions that did something poorly to me ever. So that's okay. We're all people. I don't condone the behavior, but I know, we're not. Yeah, Kyle's here with the name Kyle. You come in with the name Kyle, and you think you make sense. How about America? How many cents does America make, Kyle? Smarty pants. Take off your pants and jacket. We got one of these slobber knockers in here. Kyle's like, oh, got the man chowder breath. Yeah, out to lunch, or are you fishers of men? Fishing in the ice hole, trading lightsabers and ice holes. So. Yeah, everybody knows that. Yeah, they actually, no one respects America. Oh, I like that. So, don't tell me I'm speaking no sense. America makes no sense. I hate America, so I can't leave the damn country, right? So, they damned me in here like, a block by block by block. It'll hold back the water. That's over. So, why would anybody respect America? Nobody in America except for me that I know stands up for this damn country. So, know what I'm saying? I accept your apologies. Thanks for not saying you're sorry. I'm not sorry about anything. I have a lot of, I don't know about regrets, but I can apologize. It normally comes with some kind of, so, hey, the dialect's good. I like that. Apologize. What are you sorry for? Sorry. That's like can't, never could. So, I apologize. I served this beast system. I was part of it. It killed my son. It took away every right that I have. I really I don't even see how I exist on this stream still. Caught up in the web, eh? Worldwide net. So, you said follow after me. So I'm a soldier of God, the Most High Father. I put that first. He said, let vengeance be mine. So we're not even supposed to have anybody outside our own border. Can have a National Guard, Border, they're going to lock you in here, dumbass Americans. They already slaved you by debt. You're debt slaves, nailed to the stock exchange, bonded, birthright. Yes, it is. You stole your birthright, capital letter you. Put you in capital letters on a piece of paper. You're a piece of paper. Remember, you've been served. Merchant number, your merchandise. They sell your labor to other countries. People don't even want the debt of this country anymore. Why would you want the debt? We print $1 trillion every 100 days. You come back here every day again, pay you $1 million. You have to come back here for 360,000 years. Ding, like a clock. Imagine that. Dragons. Whoa. Pain. That's what this country's in the age of consequences, in the age of, remember? Yeah, they'll be you reap what you sow. We're in the age of sow. People are like, oh, so what? I'm going to work. I know, that's all they do. So, never. They'll never stand up. America will not stand up till they're starving. Kyle put a channel out 13 years ago called America Ever After. Welcome to America Ever After. It's the United States of Israel, run by PDF files. I've just been saying this on this dark web here. Well, not on the dark web, here on the inner two tubes, two hollow needles, like two salesmen trying to sell you some snake. Oh, get it? YouTube. All right, never mind. Why did you stand on the X? Go inside, flatten the curve, remember? You when I was a snake before you let me in, then he let Joe Biden. Two cheeks to the same hole, two wings to the same dragon. Democrat or Republican, it don't matter. Remember, I grew up on the streets of Los Angeles. Don't matter, you be lying in chalk, splatter. When my actions speaking, when you leaking on the cement, you're going to see what we meant. So, no, actions speak louder than words. It's play on words. So, it's called an idiom, but that's okay. Most people are idiots. I hate America. I hate the fact that nobody stands up. There will be no revolution. It'll be a destruction. Remember? Sudden destruction. Those who call out for peace and safety. MAGA high priest of the Satan Church. Peace and safety. Sudden destruction. 4 + 5 is 9. 4 + 7 is 11. Back to the Future when you skip Joe Biden. It's all in Revelation. I can't. As soon as I can. I didn't listen to my son, and my son they killed my son. Or I don't know where he's at. The cops they don't know where he's at. And they shot him with his hands over his head. He did live, but they kidnapped my daughter, and I've never been haven't seen him since. Nobody's heard from him. I mean, he got out. They dropped my daughter's charges. They held me on 14 months on same charges they dropped off her, using my words. Not violence, and then they SWAT raided the house, hit me in the face, grenade, busted my neck, messed my eye up, my hearing, and I'm still standing there. I just came back from the doctor. I don't want to go to the doctors. It's disgusting, but I can't leave. They put me on probation. I could have taken a misdemeanor charge, no probation, no nothing. I could have left the country, but I won't do that. I'm not going to. 98.5% of cases in America go to what is called a jury verdict, rendered by jury, by a jury of their peers. 98.5% take a plea bargain for their merchant number, their merchandise. They've been sold on the label on the stock. It's that capital letter. Oh, please, extort my merchant number. So it's the same thing as what they call their Social Security number. They're just stupid Americans. So they don't know their rights. So I probably should leave. I want to leave. My instincts tell me to go because they're not going to look for my son. They're not going to look for me, but I don't want to look over my shoulder. I told my son he was supposed to be moving here. You don't run from your problems. You don't fix that squeaky brake, son. Remember, I'm a veteran. That thing creep up. You're going to change the whole end of that steering on that whole side because you couldn't take care of it to begin with. And I taught him like that. He shouldn't. He did his probation that they said he didn't do twice. He put his head down like a good, strong young man, had no pride. And then they still wanted to throw him in prison. So I said, no, you're not going to throw him in prison. I know the law. I used to be one of you pigs. I've been one of these special weapons and tactics. I was a military pig in the Army when I was served as a military police. You're not going to tell me I don't know this law. You're breaking these laws and you can't do this. And they still just SWAT raided the house, shot, assaulted all of us too. My animals, So just turned out to be a nightmare. Now they're both gone, dead. And probably got my daughter killed too. So I'm responsible for it because I should have listened to when he said to go to South America because I wanted to learn the gospel in Espanol. Espanol no bueno, no más. So I could get it back. I didn't speak great Spanish. My older brother could speak a lot better. My dad spoke excellent Spanish, but like I said, no bueno. But I love to share the gospel, teach a bunch of Catholics, a bunch of Satanists. Catholicism is Satanism. Tell them Jesus is Satan, the sun god. So can't do that with a warrant, Kyle, right? If I didn't have a warrant, I probably still would get in trouble with a warrant. They ship me right back into this ship hole. So I got to hold out for one more year and try not to get in any more trouble. I have a case appeals filed. I hired an attorney. He still didn't. I still lost the case. It didn't matter. I was going to lose it no matter what. Father wants me to be here. So I hate being in America. It's so crazy that all these people live in America. And, you know, we were talking about earlier on the stream that gas in Scott was in here. Brother Scott he's a Canadian dick up north. And they're still part of the same crap too. South America is not perfect right now, but it is out of America. You just go across the border and in the freaking neighborhoods are alive. You don't tell Hispanic people they're not from Spain. For Latino people, Latin Vulgate, huh? Okay, but anyways, to turn the music down. They don't need a reason to siesta party, right? They have, you know, quinceañeras and all their. Okay, but either way, the music is up till 1 o'clock sometimes in neighborhoods. There are people don't tell people to turn the music down. They'll turn it up louder. That's just the way of, you know, people who are Latino like and it is. It's a culture. You know, you go out into the Hispanic neighborhoods and the Mexican neighbors, even Mexico. I don't care if it's Ensenada, Mexicali, anywhere. Just go, even Tijuana in the neighborhoods, and there's kids riding bikes like it was back in the 80s in America. There's zombie neighborhoods in America. There ain't no life in American neighborhoods. There was, I remember back up into the 90s and 2000 when everybody owned their homes. Now it's a bunch of renters, BlackRock, and kids are on iPads. Everything's electric now. They're all inside playing the box or on the box, doing the box, whatever they did it all day. There's no life. You just go right across the border and they're alive. Children are alive. The music's alive. The neighborhoods are alive. It's like going back in time. It's beautiful. So as soon as I get out of this country, I'm leaving. I don't know why you guys stay in this country. You know, you can live for $2 a day, you know, in some countries like Vietnam and have more than enough money. In Vietnam, Philippines, you know, $17 will probably last you all week in Mexico. That's 1 meal at Chipotle. Remember I was talking to a younger guy. He was down there in his little school bus. And so you can have a better life. Iran is 10 cents a gallon for gas. I would allow Iran to be a beautiful place to be right now. The Persians are amazing. I just watched a blogger today. He was standing there in front of a family. There was 3 or 4 of them out in front. And that lady said, the problem is the policy. She didn't say politicians. She said the policies, but she's right. It's not the people aren't the problem. She didn't have a problem. She said, you Americans and us Americans, we're the same. We're the people. It's the policies that are the problem. And the same thing goes with America, you know, but America is supposed to be the freest country in the world where other countries look up to this country, came here a nation of immigrants. Now they're kicking out all the immigrants. No, they're not. They're not kicking anybody out of here anymore. They're holding them. They're going to put them into the war machine because that's what's coming to the whole world, whether you like it or not. America's the bad guy. All you have to do is go outside America to figure that out. That doesn't mean they'll treat you poorly, those in America. But it doesn't mean that we're not the bad guy. They just want your dollars, you dumbass Americans. Whatever. They'll even remember your name. I told you the best time to go to Mexico is when they say, don't go to Mexico. I told you it's like going to Disneyland and have the whole park by yourself without anybody waiting in line for the rides. Oh, amigo, where's your señorita? Oh, she's coming. They'll remember your name. It's like Cheers. A lot of them will. They're very hospitable people to Americans. It's crazy how we've destroyed the whole world, but yet the people still treat us with respect. Not everywhere. And there are go to the DMZ and, you know, South Korea, North Korea, right there are some places where there's some hostility, but a lot of places ain't like that. You just been propagandized. Careful. Act like a Hallie in Hawaii and you'll get put in a puka. If you know what that is, take out the and put you in a puka. So you can't act like an American. I guess that's what I can tell you. You'll come off with that American attitude. I call it a nigger. So whatever, it's not a color. Melanin, we're not races. We're one race, the human race. Father didn't put melanin in our skin for race. And that comes from all flavors. I want to call it flavor. Like white niggers, black niggers, brown niggers, red niggers, or yellow niggers. Are you one of those white niggers that hold your breath and you're a blue nigger? It's a chip on your shoulder. It's like the world owes you something. Expect, demand. You know, that's not how this works. It's called charity, and there's enough resources on this rock that if we weren't capitalist and act like we were so tribal, that we would actually, there's one race, the human race, and I do understand how our workings, but we don't need to be paying for resources. You have to work, but not pay. You know, this world has gone mad, so I don't like niggers of any flavor, or there's no colors. There's one race, the human race, so people act without humanity, and there's an invasive hominoid species on this rock that's trying to whack us all. Remember, whack the nation, stand on the X, go inside. They are all in on that, like their Hadron Collider, where they've got taking copper and putting it around a magnet and spinning it. They got these people think they're spinning on a ball, but they get these Hadron Colliders all over this rock. So, but it's okay. You can have a life here. You can stay in this beast system, but this system is the system that's been chewing everybody up since the brokering of the Bretton Woods Agreement. France came over here in 1971, and Nixon said, "Oh, what are we going to do? We ain't got to go. Hey, we better broker us off the Bretton Woods Agreement, and now we're going to protect the Saudi nations, and we're only going to take oil, and we're going to do the SWIFT system, and we mean like mafia behavior. If you don't do business with us, remember 4 + 9." 4 + 7 is 11. Why do that? 4 + is 13. 4 + 7 is 11. When he came into office, he said, "You either play with America or you'll pay tariffs." That's what he did. He tariffed the whole world. He declared a whole world war at his presidency, his second. And I told that everybody's like, "Oh, we're not at war yet." Dude, you've been at war. I've been telling you we're at war 13 years ago because the grocery store is poisoning you. And you just go there and eat the slop, and you pay to kill yourself, and you think that McDonald's loves you and they took your supersize away 22 years ago because that you're fat and they care about your health. McDonald's cares about your health, my ass. Get away from me. Eat your kids. Eat them bleached. You like them sweet and sour, honey mustard, or old school like Kronos, like throw your kids in the fire barbecued. You think it's just McDonald's doing it? It's in everything. It's their ritual. They don't care. All of this. I told you. Whack the nation. Remember, I come quickly. 3/11. Let no one take your crown. He declared the coronavirus on 3/11, March 11th. Yes, he did. Did you go to sleep? I come quickly. Let no one take your crown. You don't have that crown. He said, remember, I come like a thief in the night. So you better think about where you're casting your pearls, what you're doing, what system. You partake in the system, you're going to be judged by the system. You have to stand, and that's why I didn't take charge. Even if I have felonies, I can't leave. This is exactly where Father has me. And if I die here on the battlefield, I hope that Father will bless me and reincarnate me as a soldier, as I can live to fight again and with his word, not flesh. Wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, powers, spiritual wickedness in high places, the rulers of the darkness of this world. You know, EpiPen Island boys. Chrome, you sucking on a chrome bumper hitch there or what? Yeah, don't suck on hot muffler pipes or sniff hot bicycle seats either. I'll try to give you some tips. They only tip in America, brothers, sisters. It's a disgusting country. People, like I said, that's another expectation. And I've worked for $2.13 an hour as a server, run restaurants, but the expectation, you know. Oh, we're just talking about how America is the abomination. You know, Mr. Obama passed, you know, gay marriage, legal, you know, got like the known Pope, homosexual Pope, gay lover, Caesar Borgia, their white Jesus, cracker Jesus. You know, we're just spitting some facts out here, going back through scriptural, biblical, and history, some that are written in the book. A lot of these things I can tell you because they weren't written in the book. There's a lot more ways to learn history. You know, microfiche in the library is. No, never mind. You know what the dark web is? You ever been to the dark web? Are you afraid to go to the dark web? Are they going to put you on the list if you go on the dark web? So, those white papers been on the dark web exposing these EpiPen Island boys for decades. And girls, remember? Hillary and the whole clan. All of them, pedos and politicians. The documents end up missing or redacted. RT, redacted television, or Russia television. The Fox or faux or fake news. MSLSD are always broadcasting crap. Or remember, Hillary or the Clinton News Network or Communist News Network. You just parrot the Mockingbird media says, don't you? You don't do any research. You think it's history's in a book. Once again, you have to study maps, cultures, customs. Parable is not, remember, an idiom is not an idiot. Thanks. Look at my camera. What a shite camera I have. We got power out here, guys, at the ministry. That box will show up here in the next couple of days. Maybe we'll have power. I'll see about putting some stinky Starlink out here. Whatever, I'll do it for you guys for 1 year is all I have to stand it. So I ain't putting no Wi-Fi on this property. I don't know what, there's already scanners up above my head. I'm not concerned about that. They already know everything I'm doing. They don't need to hook me up to the internet to know where I'm at. I've already been chipped. I was in the military, kept above top secret security clearance. So my son even said, "You're not safe to be around, Ed. Can't say anything around you." They know what they know what you're thinking. Oh. Yeah, no, I just have to stay here. I just got to grind out a year, guys. That's what I got to do. Like I said, I'd rather, because who knows what will happen in the next year. I asked you guys all what you think would happen in the next year, and I have no idea how far we're going to. Well, I know we're at war right now. You know what I'm saying? So I told you, I do not think that this war will end until Trump is definitely out of office. And we went right back to war, this peace and safety, sudden destruction, peace and safety, sudden destruction, peace and safety, sudden destruction. I'm going to turn them back to the Stone Age. I'm going to blow up all their infrastructure. I'm going to blow you up in the middle of the ocean and international waters in a boat because you're fishing. I'm going to tell everybody you had drugs. So, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm not going to take time to not smell the roses is what I'm saying, guys. I'm going to live my life. I'm living the American dream. I don't care if one of you come out here and be with me. You guys suck. You should come out here and live the dream with me. You don't have to stay right where you're at, but at least I'm living the American dream. I have the best of both worlds. It sucks. It's a living nightmare. I hate being alive. Every day is torture. But to have this ministry come in here, I don't have a single friend or a single family member. So, it's just me here on this rock. I'm all alone. Father took my son and daughter from me. So all I have is this ministry. And, and I'm not dependent on this ministry. This ministry is here because I have to share the light. I'm alone. And if I had more social life, I could probably do this and wouldn't need to do this here. But I don't have any friends that come over and eat dinner with me, or I don't have any family that calls me ever, and that's not family, is not blood. So join a brotherhood and you'll find out real quick that blood's not thicker than water. So absolutely not. Brotherhood, you ever been in the military or part of a gang, maybe a 1% gang or anything of the sort, or maybe even in prison or something, or jail for a country minute or so. But anyways, I'm just trying to put it straight to you guys. I know how I know what it is that's going on in my life. And if I could leave this country, I would, because I don't want to be a part of this Babylonian system that's strangling every nation, terrifying every nation, making every nation for 50 plus years pay for oil like mafia, or will come kill your children, your women, and rape them, because you never see that on television. Oh, you see Shock and Awe, you see Desert Storm or Operation Iraqi Freedom, Desert Shield, you see Operation Midnight Hammer. Oh, well, you don't even really see these things anymore. But okay, but you get to see what they tell you. You don't see what happens overseas. You don't see what happens right within your own country. That's what's the problem that I have now, too. There's domestic enemies on the homeland. When you take an oath to defend the right of the people to defend this country against all enemies, foreign and domestic, and we have domestic enemies, they're all a bunch of pedos and politicians, and you don't say anything, it makes a veteran like me, PTSD, go through the roof. So you weak-ass Americans, I have nothing in common with you, including you, mostly you weak-ass veterans. The hell's wrong with you? Not one militia. And I'm not into arms, but peaceful protests. How about that? I'm not into protests, and I'm not into peace. You're wasting your time. We're way past that point there, Roadrunner. We already went off the cliff. This ship is sinking. You're over there playing with the band over there, right? Some of us already pushed off, got in the raft, and left. They ain't gonna build you no boat, right? Yeah, you got to build the boat yourself. He ain't sending no boats. Who the hell told you that? Boats and hoes. You've been watching too much television. Step Brother, whatever. Yeah, remember Boats and Hoes? All right, had to go there. Yeah, we're fighting a war for Israel right now, not even for the American people. All this money is being spent because we're going and bombed a country that never bombed us, never attacked us. We're the only country to use a nuclear bomb on another country ever, and we're telling another country that they can't have a nuclear bomb. That is the most hypocritical thing. That's why I hate being alive in this country. You Americans, I hate the sin that you just every day you never think about. We are the only country to use a nuclear bomb on another country. We are the problem in this world. We are the United States of Israel. You better careful who you stand with. Judge that shall be judged. You're not going to keep getting away with this, America. It's called reap what you sow. Welcome to the age of consequences. There ain't no karma. They have their karmatic gods, but their accountabilities that they told you. They put it in Adult Swim. Remember? The Simpsons never let me down. Yeah. You're loving it. You're rubbing it. You're like the McRib. Yeah, you show up every once in a while, you want all the glory, and then you disappear out of nowhere. Get away from me, McRib. I don't eat pork. Spam, you're like Spam. You just never go away. Yeah, it's like a thorn in my side, and I want to get rid of that Spam. I told you I don't eat pork. Eat all the pork you want, brothers, sisters, but it's not about pork, okay? Low energy. Do not cast your pearls before swine. Because they've got the script, Brian. I got the script right here. I can make Super Bowl halftime shows because I am Revelation. Genesis, remember? Daniel, Ezekiel. This is all your commercials. They put it, but you got rose-colored glasses so you don't see it. It's in everything. Exactly where the hand points on the clock. Even in a B-rated television movie. Your little box, your little Hollywood, do not cause early arrangement. Mark is the word character. Karak, it means sin. It means you're off the mark. Do not unarrange his words. He'll throw you in the pit. You're already there. Don't you worry your little head. Hell's not below your feet. It's right here. And so is heaven. Get lost in space. Nanu. You little fairy Spock. What are you going to beam me up, Scotty? Oh, what you got? Han Solo in here. Just straight go Han Solo. Freaking Luke Skyvader on you. Thanks for coming in, Rum. Thanks for coming in, Brian. Appreciate you guys, the moderators, coming in here, spending the time in this ministry. It's not vain. It's not. This is the mother of all YouTube channels. We mother everybody who comes in here. Judge everybody righteously. Do not condemn a man. The weed has to grow with the weeds. The chaff, he will separate that. He, remember, Father is the captain. He gets the first fruits, the farmer, the harvest. Throw your nets down deep, brothers and sisters, fishers of men. The net knows what it catches. It only does the job of the net. Do not cast your pearls before swine. Careful where you fish. Man who go fishing in another man's well, bound to catch crabs. All right, we had to take a little pause. Hey, Father is the best, man. He is the Most High. He is what I'm all about. You know that about the wedding. The only way to the ram is through the lamb. Lamb, not crackers and grape juice. Get away from me, cracker. Cracker ass, cracker. So, oh my goodness. Do I look white to you? Oh. A little salty in here tonight, huh? So, oh, thanks for coming in, guys. Oh, take your Nanu Jesus somewhere else. Space Vader. You take your little space boat and go fly away. Little magnetic idiot. You know nothing. You're like a private. I know nothing. Yeah, take your private parts, go somewhere else. Yeah, your family jewels too. The man's nuts, grab them, get them out of here. You too, tulips. Remember, roses on your panel or tulips on your organ. Get away from me, Jezebel. Yeah, I'm talking to you, sir. So where's this place? Where are we going to be at in a year? Where's this rock going to be? Are you going to be spinning at 1,040 miles an hour in a year from now? Third rock from the sun in the third dimension, doing your Masonic like you got 33 vertebrae to reach the Holy of Holies, the Christo, heaven, gate, the panching. Remember, he's got the key to knowledge. That's where Satan's locked up. Mithra, you're in your mythology, huh? Your myth, your little fairy myth tales, Spock tales, Duck tales. Woo! Remember, Mr. Moneybags. It's a Mac tonight. Oh, I do Mr. Mac tonight, huh? Remind me of the crescent moon, these lunatics. So, you guys don't remember Mac? Mac was a moon. Remember, Mac was a crescent moon, like the Eat Your Kids. Samarimus, the one. Remember the Nordic tribes, the fake Jews, you dumbasses. Oh, freedom, you can have your choice, right, or your will, but it's not free. It's called self-will. It's not free. It comes with a price. There's always a price to pay. The Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away. Those with less will have more. Those with more will have less. There could be a right without a left. Remember, war doesn't decide who's right. It decides who's left. So are you going to be left or right? Who's right now? Ain't a matter of being right, isn't it? It's a matter of being left. Oh, you thought you got it right. You thought you knew. Got to get back in time, remember? Knowledge. It was all, that's Father's knowledge. Die and go to knowledge, not to the sky. He said to meet him in the air. We're there. We made it. Aquarius. Welcome to Revelation. The lifting of the scales. There will be no serpents in here. Remember vipers? Snake. You knew I was a snake before you let me in. Remember, then he said, let Joe Biden. You guys have no passion for the word. Do you go share this word everywhere? Do you share this with others with this passion? You know, if you do this in public, they might arrest you. Careful now. They're filming you. They got you on flock cameras. You're like a flock of goats or pigs in a pen, a tentury. Oh, man. Don't get put in a box, guys. Stay out of the box. They threw him in a box, so careful. They might throw you in a box. Does anybody want to throw you in a box? Yeah, but for why did they throw you in a box? Oh, you're not in a box? Oh, come I can see those invisible bars in front of you by debt. You've been enslaved. So what do you mean you're not in prison? Yeah, you are. You know what I think, Father? For all the fake ministries around the world, all the fake synagogues, all the fakes, all the fake religions, and all of them, every one of them, and even the fake ones here online, and there's literally hundreds, thousands of them that do not share the gospel that's being shared at this ministry. The gospel is all that matters, period. I don't give two licks of it, but I'm not going to stop watching because he said you had to be a witness. Remember, he would send the two witnesses. That means you can't fall asleep. No, you can't put your head in the sand there. Go down that rabbit hole. You're going to be chooching on the job of the hut pipe and the hookah and talking to the rabbit, and then time's going to slip away from you. And next thing you know, you're going to miss the starting gun. The boat already left the harbor. Where you been all along? Oh, you're still down in that rabbit hole, huh? Careful. Watch out for the Matrix. I don't know why I threw that in there, but it had to go. It inserted perfectly. I don't know why, right? So, you know, algebraic, you know, more algebra. If you got the Lord giveth, the Lord taketh away. You know anything about math? So he's mathematical. Remember, 40 days and 40 nights. This time he's going to bring the fire. Remember the promise of the rainbow? Yeah, that's math. Remember? Lot, get your wife, get your children. It's going to happen again. Remember? Nothing new under the sun. Here we are, right back again. If you take something from here, you're going to have to give it back over here. You must endure to the end to be saved. You don't get that? That's mathematical. All right. It's only a matter of time. Maybe it's time that you're a time person. You're not a math person. Time scares people, doesn't it? Why are you afraid to die? You're supposed to die every day to self, remember? Deny yourself daily, take up your cross daily. Nobody run from crosses and follow after me. Nobody follows after him. He said, when I return, no one will know my name. Nobody knew his name. They didn't follow him. He said, I'll make a new one. Mess this last one. Old, right? And this one too, he'll make another new. It says it. You have to read it. Oh, absolutely. Everything. Yeah, that's right. Malachi, the son of the righteous world. That's right, because he's mathematical. The woman will give it the wings. He's talking about his bride, the angel, and that's not wings. And angels are come from the sky. Angels are that's the word messenger. Lexicon. People don't use a lexicon, so they don't read the book of Malachi. Remember, in Malachi, it says you find a man who's giving you the meat, give him 10% of your earnings. That's a tithe. I don't want anybody's money. That's like turning father's house into a den of thieves. I'm a time trader. I like to trade, you know. Those who don't work don't eat. That's what it says. Give man fish and give him a fishing pole, right? He or she were equally yoked. Then turn away from, you know, father does the rest where he's already made goats, separated them from. He said, I come to bring a sword of division. Remember in Matthew, not peace, not shalom. That's Antichrist. It's sorrows, he said. Remember? In Revelation, here we are. Thank you, Father. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. We're not under the laws of flesh. Old Testament death, remember? Eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth, sacrifice at the altar. Take your son Isaac. This is a whole different time, this different covenant. So he didn't abolish. He said it was fulfilled. Remember the 5 shekels to the king that had to be paid. Blood on the doorway, postmarked like a stamp. You ever been to the post office? Well, no, the head of your doorway where you live. With blood, remember? They had this perfect sacrifice outside the temple. It's glassy sea. They just do their glassy sea and turn it into a swamp. Same dicks, but whatever. They're phallic worship. So, the science is right at the center of our law. Oh, there's no such thing as me, but there's no J, but you're talking about the Hamashiach. They didn't hang from crosses. Nobody hung from crosses. That's blasphemy. And people are like, what the hell did I come across? Hell's right here. There you go. Start defining something. You might understand what's interlinear. He's inside you. He's not in the sky. Father didn't come from the stars. Father's the word. Hokadesh, spirit, ghost. He came from the stars. Did not. Father created the stars, sun, and moon. Planet means wander. People can roam out of here. I can't stand people. Remember? They like to stand up their tree. Jeremiah. There's no J, but we'll go ahead and use that their Yoda. Raised in the swamp, remember? Hate to break it to you. The X-Wing fighter out of the swamp, Yoda. It's down to remember the one, Ophiuchus with the snake around his neck? So it's a firmament marker. People are lost in space, in the stars, in the sky. They think God's come from the stars. That's paganism. It's been around here. Remember nothing new under the sun? Solomon says the adversary will change times. Remember 14th century? Homosexual Pope, Caesar Borgia, from the tribe of Judea. Yeah, there was Y, no vowels, no A-E-I-O-U, Jesus, no barnyard, sodomy, blasphemy, orgy, Jesus. The transgender Jesus. J is a that doesn't exist. That's not a scriptural word like Lucifer. That never was written in the Old or New Testament. Never will you find the word Lord. Never said Lord or Master. That's Lord. Remember, you can't serve. Alien means foreign. Planet means wander. Remember in Rome in the 12th century, there was no J. I don't understand why these people, they're under, well, not below me. You get off your knees and know when I've been licked, get it below me. So they used to think people had a demon, brothers, sisters, when they were having a seizure. Remember, a demon is a distributor of fortunes or lies. A Nephilim is a bully, not a giant. It's the word Anunnaki. David Slide and Anunnaki. Remember David, he was the least of his brothers. Remember the Star of David? When the morning star, Venus, not Lucifer, conjuncted 2 and 3 BC. They're doing the 23 ritual on you, just so you know. They do it every year. Year after year. That's the Svasti peace sign. They thought a goddess of heaven was spinning the Big Dipper around the pole north. Hello, Nimrod, where's your compass pointed at? This guy's magnetics is off, huh? No, it's he and she under this yoke, remember? Not the supple vipers either way. So people are lost in space. tell you how to get revenge. Oh, you can't seek vengeance under this testament. So, can't seek vengeance. You got to turn your cheek. I'll do the math for you. Apparently, you don't like calculators. Nothing spiritual adds up to you. You haven't been reading, but I'll do the, well, yods, jots, tittles, points, decimal. Get to the point, would you? Fractions. Cut you in half. No, Father, or divide. So, you're not supposed to seek vengeance 490 times. 7 times 7. Why are you trying to go after somebody? And Muslims are just Christians without a sun god. They worship the star god. It's a Mac tonight. Remember, that reminded me of the slice of the moon. McDonald's, they eat their kids. Remember Krampus? They do that too. Hey, whatever, they suck off kids. The Jews, there's no J, so there's no such thing as Jew. There is no Jew. That word is a new word that was inserted, like rapture. That word was never even written. Where do you find rapture? Lucifer was never written, but they added that later. Kind of like Lord. They never said Lord. Where the hell does it say Lord? Well, what text are you reading? You're not reading the accepted text. You're reading some translation. You're a transgender. Try. Come on by. Give it a try. Remember in the 2nd century? Oh, it's the 2nd century. The 14th century. You give your timelines off so you know it's not 2026. If you think it's 2026, I'm not going to have to ask you to exit the building right now. We're going to mic drop you. No, not Manshell Vomit or Barack Obafamit with his man gender bender. Father created one race, the human race there, Nimrod. You're not Cro-Magnon. He had a thicker skin and thicker skull and a bigger brain. He could use it. Body's a temple. People don't use that either, remember? Their head. The 2 temples, the body's a temple. Hello. Wrestle not against flesh. So you can't be going after anybody. Who cares if they're Muslim? Muslim or Catholics. The Quran was written by Catholics. You don't know anything about any records, do you? Cool. You smoke cools, or you like Kool-Aid, drinking the Kool-Aid or slamming the opium like Mr. Barack Obama? Remember 44? 4 plus 5 is 9. 4 plus 7 is 11. Are you blind 11 when you let Joe Biden? Too many stickers? What happened to you? Oh. Cheated, good. Let them go. Put them on a rope. Give them a rope. Let them hang themselves like a cliff. They'll just fall off. Cliff. Are you a Clifford? You a big red dog over here? Speak. Bark. What are you, bitch? Bite, not bite. A dog only hollers when it's hit. You guys went silent on me. The 5th Amendment is being used in the Miranda. You've been Mirandized? Oh, freaking CIA came in here and Mirandized all your IP addresses. You know that? And now they know who you are. They're going to be following you around in the sky with their stinky Starlink satellite. Maybe old technology, old Tartaria. Meteorite, satellite, left or right? Not you, Sister Sabrina. I was trying to talk to cool hand Luke over here. He went away. I think he's a Jezebel or something, 13 virgins nonsense. I don't know what he was talking about. Something about Muslims. There's no such thing as, remember you had Shiites and Sunni and all that, but this is division. You know, if people would stop giving into these fairy tales of deities in the sky, and Father is the Word. Father is the law under the Old Testament. He had one day he would visit a year. Now he's inside the heart of the bride. It's simple. It's not complicated. I know that's why we don't get no play in here, but that's fine. We don't want no supping with no vipers. Remember, think about all the hundreds, thousands of churches, people who even think they know who Father, millions, of people, tens of millions, billions who think they know Father, but they don't read the Word. They don't have a definition. They don't have any definition in them that's not written on their hearts. So we don't, when you can get a better understanding that he divided the light from the dark, the day from the night, the flesh from the sin. Sin is what makes us, right? Karak, character, to be off the mark. The word of sin is to be, your character is off. The word to be marked is because your character is off. That's how you get marked. There's no physical mark of the beast. The beast is man. 666, the number of man. See, these people get it all backwards. So they're already marked. So they'll have no room for their seal because they have no crown. See? Oh, it got stolen from them. Wrong crown, remember? It has to be, remember, it's like a coronation to be a wedding. So 3 and 11, I come quickly, he said, like a woman in labor. You'd be like in the days of Noah. There were giants in the land, Anunnaki. Well, I think they're down there in Gaza, banging on Gaza's door. Over there in Crimea, right here in my backyard. Remember the red-headed giants, lost tribe. They're here. I don't care what anybody says. Giants are real. Kind of like Cro-Magnon man, Homo sapien, remember Demisoban. But these people wanted to go after stars. I'm a magi. You think of anybody, and Enoch, the book of Enoch? How come I don't talk about Enoch? Because I don't care. Enoch's not going to get me to Father. The gospel, the only way is to the wedding. That is how after they see. And look, I don't know if you figure this out or not, but remember, the deceiver, the adversary knows the time because he gets to change it. That's why people walk around and tell you it's 2026. And they spray the sky and people are just like, whatever, I don't care. Just Jimmy crack corn, so eat the corn syrup, eat the goy slop. I'm not going to even try. So Father has an eye on them, remember? He said, let no one take your crown. The eye is single, remember? So, yeah, no, it's me. You know that. Sister Nine. I have power out here, just so you know. You know what I'm saying? And I ordered a box, but it didn't work. So, not in 34 years, the guy said. Yes, it talks about the greatness of Max, and it talks about their hearts being waxed cold, right? Because there's no spirit in them. Father is Hokadesh. Father is spirit. Father is ghost, not some Casper the Friendly Jesus. Because people are right now thinking about the seesaw. You must be an American. And I won't hold it against you. I hate this country with a passion. I'm a veteran who served the rights and stand on the X, go inside, flatten the curve. All this is run by a bunch of pedophiles. Nobody cares. Drives my PTSD through the roof. But anyways, my PTSD has nothing to do. PTSD has nothing to do with, people act like zombies. It's because their hearts, it says that, they're falling away from the word, the great falling away. I was just describing that you can go to a church, but he said that the Most High doesn't dwell in temples made by hands. Remember, the body is a temple. People have two of them on the side of their head, and they don't use their head, do they? They're looking for him somewhere else. So it says, those who say peace and safety, sudden destruction will come upon those who call out for peace and safety. Now, remember, they made everybody stand on X, afraid of each other, and now they're doing this back and forth, seesaw. It's like I was looking at this today. It's like that fair thing. It's like the fair. Did you see the 250? If you're an American, let's have a conversation about this for a minute. This 250 fair. The greatest fair ever. 16 days of music. They only get Vanilla Ice, and they canceled on them 2 hours because there was nobody there when we went to go hype everybody up. Let's take a spin around. There was like 6 people in the background. So you know what? When the people see that on television, especially right now, because obviously Mr. Warp Speed's approval rate is 30%. He's not liked. The whole idea of that is, that's what he's here to do. He's here to bring the system down and bring the new system here, whether you like him or not. He's doing this. He knows the scripture better than all of you combined in this room. Whether you like it or not, he plays stupid, but he is not. He is wise as a serpent, and so must you be as a serpent and gentle as a dove. Should be given the wings of an angel. Okay? That's talking about his bride Israel. So not literal wings. Remember, messengers do not have wings. Although they are angels, they are not. They are sent before the time. He will send his messengers, because if it's already happening and it doesn't cross your ear or your thought or your mind or your eye, well, then you're just an idiot and you don't know. But if it doesn't, right, then you have no time to respond, and you will be taken like a thief. So he will send his messengers. He will send his angels. They will not have wings. Remember, this ain't some maxi pad. You're not going to float out of here or whatever on your, whatever you're catching. So, okay, but understanding this, brothers, sisters, that people right now are being pulled back and forth, okay? And look at what they're doing in America. 1 minute it's a ceasefire, the next minute it's, we're going to turn Iran back to the Snowed Age. we're going to decimate all them. It's all decimated. No, I thought you blew up everything. Oh, no, we're going back in there. You know, it's back and forth and back and forth. And it's called being black-pilled is what you're seeing too there, Max. People have been black-pilled. It's people who've been in the game for a minute, but it's just too hard. Think about what used to stay on the front page of a newspaper. That's so 30 seconds ago. Notice how, yes, it's a world stage. Notice how, Max, when you watch a video now, how every 15 seconds it's got to be. It's like or the background's got to change. You know what I'm saying? It's called flicker rate. Look at how everybody's videos. My videos aren't good because I don't do this background flicker and change something every 15. I know how to, I've done advertising. I've done media. I have been, I'm not saying that I've been done college. You know, I know my dad was in advertising, Hollywood, all this. I'm not trying to brag. Just, it's flicker rate. It's called flicker rate. Honey, I'm hungry. I want some popcorn. You don't like popcorn, honey? They've been hitting it with you. When you go back to the movies, they put it in a certain frame. That's how it's called dopamine. They're all sugared up. They need a 30-second fix, something to get them to their next fix. So it could be sugar. It could be flicker rate. See what I'm saying? Can put a one in the chat if you guys know what I'm talking about. They might be banned in my chat. It happens. Our chat. It's not my chat. It's our channel, not my channel. So, but remember channel? You came through this birth canal, through the waters, Pisces, Vesica Pisces. Something smells a little fishy in here. Talk to me, boys. So. And girls, ladies and germs, I come before you to stand behind you to tell you something I don't even know about. Next Tuesday, which is Good Friday, there'll be a mother's meeting for fathers only. So wear your best clothes if you don't have any. Admission's free. Spit at the door. Take seats. Sit on the floor. Doesn't matter where you're sick. Man in the gallery will surely spit. Thank you for your very unkind attention. My next act will be the Four Corners. You're not living on a ball, northeast, west, and south. You might want to get with the news. The Four Corners of the Round Table. So, all right, hey, Werner. I'm trying, man. Like I said, I try to have a communication with people. Everybody's zombified, right? It's the back and forth. It's black pill. It's seesaw. It's, you know, those who say peace and safety, sudden destruction. It's sorrows. It's going to pull back, but it's going to come back stronger. This is not, nobody's doing this. Nobody's getting ready for this. Nobody's paying attention to this. Everybody's 2026 in it. You know, New Year's in the middle of the winter. Watch it. It'll happen again this December, Decami, the 10th month of the year, not 12th. Remember, I was born in the November. Scepter 7, remember? 7-11? No, 9. Blind 11. November. It's not the 11th month. It's the 9th month. Remember? Nueve, Octagon, 8, Octopus, Ocho. Stop! Oh, remember sign? What's your sign? Stop! People used to ask me that. What's your sign? Stop. Stop what? Stop sign. Oh, I'm Scorpion, so watch it. Don't believe me, just watch. All right, you guys got nothing? Come on, give me something, YouTube. You got the 20 people in here. You got anybody that's got a brain for the word? Other than the moderators, I'm not gonna smash my moderators, but it's nice to have a conversation with you guys about something real here. This is not going to get better. We've drained our strategic oil here in probably 2 weeks. The strategic oil reserve is for war. That's why we have reserves in our country, and have always had war reserves just for war. So we're already at, but I'm just, you know, let me see your belly button if you're not a clone. Simple Minds. Huh. Is that some band or something? With the band, man. Are you a groupie or are you a roadie? Thank you, Father, for the ministry to come in here and share. Again, guys, it's getting quite obvious that people have become waxed cold. You know, imagine being on the other end of all these bombs over Baghdad, Iran, Yemen, Lebanon, Look at all the, Russia, Ukraine. Look at all this. Look at all this war, and it's not happening in America. And you don't think that all this stuff is not going to come back to bite you in the ass, America. You have what is called hell to pay. Not by me. It's already written. I'm not. It's done by a script. These wars are already scripted. Time Magazine's Man of the Year twice. The seventh king of Revelation locked in the pit. Knowledge. That's your protection. That's your armor that Paul says in Ephesians. Twice, because you have to declare 2 witnesses. You can't deny him. This one, that right eye, that left eye. No, friends and family. Not a family plan. It's a family matter. That's not what it says, Sister Diana. It said this, they'll say it's the end of the world, right? It's the end. It's not the end. It says there'll be wars and rumors of wars. There'll be famine and pestilence. There'll be famine of the word. Max came in here and asked, like, what the hell is going on? Max is seeing it. Max is seeing it. Famine and pestilence, the word is diseased. People add in, like alchemists, Jesus and Lord and Lucifer and all these fairy stories that they make up. Gods in the sky coming down, and there's no gods in the sky. Giants in the sky. Giants don't come from the sky. Giants coming down and sticking their magic school buses in women with 5-foot frames should have never added up to you. Ever. But you don't math any of this, do you? No, you can't say New World Order in here. You can't say that. That's a pushing. That is a Project Blue Book, not Operation Blue Beam. That's Operation Mockingbird Media. That doesn't say that. Stop saying that, please. I do like the idea because China has been buying up resources quietly. They don't export any silver anymore. Remember, they just sell us cheap Chinese crap. They make really nice stuff if you pay them. People don't know anything about China. China would be a much better place to live than America. I don't care if it's communism. People poor there don't live like America. The food in this country, you could live in Vietnam for $1 a day. Like you could participate in healthcare in Ecuador and make $500 a month and participate in their healthcare. Everything America is $1,200 to rent a room in a city in America to smell somebody else's poop in a shared pooper. You can't even, you got to smell their poop because it's a shared bathroom. Or you got a hot plate, not even a kitchen. Little mini fridge. $1,200, you're living the American dream, huh? Yeah, right. This place is a strangulation nation, been forcing everybody around the world to pay for their oil for 50 plus years. Okay? So China's all over this, okay? Everything about Venezuela is about China. Everything about South America is about China. Everything about Iran. Iran's 80% of Iran's oil is bought by China. So thank you for your, was that Gypsy? For your comment. It makes sense, but there is no one world order, one world religion, or one world currency. These religious idiots say that and never even says it once. Remember? Not even once. They're waiting for something. They're waiting for World War III, and it never even says that once. It's the Third World War. That's already started. There's never been one world war. We'll leave that alone. Started, right, with a bomb falling outside this country. They always start with tariffs, embargoes, and sanctions, right? Just like the Second World War. They never called the First World War the First World War until the Second World War. They called it the Great War. People know nothing about war. I do. I've studied these things. And just because you read something in a book doesn't even know the victor gets the spoils. Remember, Mr. Warp Speed said that the other day. He kind of struggled to say it at first, but he's like, oh, no, that's all right. He's all programmed up. So he's painted up all orange, Batman orange. Got to look like Apollyon the sun god, like his house decorated with 58-story Arch of Triumph, Trump, the final Trump, remember? Don't blow your horn here on you. Wrong too. Wrong horn. Oh, yeah, here we go. That we're disconnected. Oh, yeah, here we go. That we're disconnected. She's breaking up, Captain. She's breaking up. Here they go. Get them out of here, Father. Get their IP addresses and scan them. Like they're flock cameras. They get the flock out of here. Too much Bluetooth. Been holding their breath too long. Not sure what's wrong with them. Maybe it's too much rum. I got the rummy blues. Thanks, rum. Oh, oh, my freaking back, guys, getting so freaking much worse. I don't know what to do. I gotta get the hell out of this country. I just got to make it one more year. One more year. One more year. Don't break my back. Do not break the back in the next year. I'm not. I'm not going to do anything that's even remotely close to anything that would. I'm not. Just not going to do it. What's going on, man? I don't know if you're my brother, but what's going on? I'd rather be in Russia. Sabrina would probably better be in Russia than in Canada and the old maple, whatever. We get all our toilet paper from Canada, and everybody's all 51st state of America is the United States of Israel. So I hate Putin, but I like Russia. I'd rather live in Russia than America. The food is amazing there. You got good people there too. God's people are all over this rock, but the politics, remember like the lady in Iran said, the policies are the problem, not the people. So Father's bride is in Russia, brothers and sisters, whether you like it or not. You know what I can't stand is all the deep strikes into Russia right now. Why is Putin allowing that to happen? I hate America. America is the most abomination nation, corporation. It's an enslaved nation that's been blowing up everybody for 50 plus years. So America's the worst nation to ever walk this rock. Consumes 40% of the resources as 3% of the populace. So never been a more disgusting, filthy, more people locked up in America than all other countries combined. There's a guaranteed 80% occupancy of all private prisons before they're ever built. Let me tell you a few more things about America. America's an orgy nation. Remember, it was founded on an orgy? Well, no, they ran away from the orgy. Orgy Jesus. Remember the Mayflower sign? That time's up 400 years. About 400-year cycle. So whatever. You've been propagandized. America's a disgusting, filthy nation. They've been supplying all the people's money to kill all your people in your country. Who do you think's paying for those Ukrainian drones? Americans with their W-2 tax dollars unalive. Remember, Ukraine part of the Baltic nations. Do you know anything about your history? How come Putin left out that you guys wiped out, remember, Ukraine before? He started out his history and he kind of jaded and a little bit of bias, wasn't he? I kind of left a little bit of that out, like telling 99 truths and a lie and 99 lies and a truth. So I don't know everything about Russia, but remember, they got nuclear weapons, and remember, Iran can't. So maybe Iran said we're going to get one now, so maybe they'll get it from Russia. Probably Pakistan, but remember, you don't know anything about Pakistan. Get away from me. Like half their income is spent on their food. You get to go eat at the drive-thru. Get away from me. Value meal. There ain't no more value meal. So Russia kicked out McDonald's, didn't they? So I'd love to live in Russia. A little too far north from me, but I'd rather be in Russia than America. America sucks. America's been blowing up every country around the world with their embassies. Pretty much, we're going to come in your country whether you like it or not. So, we have our hands in everything. We're just a filthy generation that's going to be, it'll say, alas, alas, and the smoke will rise from the pit. So don't worry about it. Nothing is everything's cyclical, nothing new under the sun. So Russia will invade from the north, Magog and Gog, and Putin already went up there and met Mr. Warp Speed. They trade lightsabers with their ice holes up there. I live in Alaska, and you can fart and smell it in Russia. So, but I'm not sure where this Russian is from. They might be further to the south, more kind of like more people in Canada. They live right up over the border of America. So they're not Chamtaka Peninsula, all that over there to the east, east side. So their populace they're a very big country too, by the way. So lots of beautiful places in Russia. Some horrible people in Russia, horrible people in America, horrible people in every country, brothers and sisters. But as a whole, Russia let their system collapse on itself and broke down their Soviet Union, and they are what they are today. So you better be careful with Russia. Remember the whole sleeper cell? Where do you think that came from? Military intelligence? You got to know something about the Russians. I have no understanding how they're allowing all that their infrastructure oil to be blown up. Yes, I do. They're bringing in the new tech. I told you Putin's in on it too. Crimea. What do you think it was in Crimea? The underground pyramids. Shh, don't talk about that. Did I just let that out? Oh, well, I don't care. It's been a long time since I talked about that on the web. I don't know when the last time that's been said on the web. Shh. Yeah, underground, huh? Do you know how many pyramids are in China? Get away from me. Oh. No, I can't. I haven't been able to do any work. I haven't been able to work at all. I haven't been able to work at all. I can't get, I can't get going. Every time I get going, my nerve just gets, I haven't collect some eggs and, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, but we're not going to that right now. I hear you, and I'd like that, but that's not realistic. You would couple with China before you'd ever couple with America. You know what I'm saying? And we would couple with you before we would couple with, you know what I'm saying? And that could happen, like what you're looking for. Careful, Putin met with Mr. Warp Speed up there in the, so yeah, so, like I said, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm underweight now and something's breaking down. I don't know what it is. I told you when I broke it, you know what I'm saying? I've been pretty on. I listen to my body, I listen to what my body tells me. I'm one of those people. I'm old school like that, 8675309, bitch. Call 411 if you really want to know what's going on. You got the digits? No. No, I got an 8-track. You want to go listen? No. Let me get back on track here for a minute. So, I think fathers want me to go get that stupid injection and then get the nerve test, and I'm avoiding it, so he's making me be in more pain. You know what I'm saying? I'm serious. I think he wants me to go get that, and I'm not getting it. I'm not. I told you I'm in it, and he's just driving me to be more pain, so I eventually have to break down and go do it. So uh, I don't want to be. I don't want to get hooked up to a battery and electrocuted. I've had that done before. Again, I don't see. Here's what I'm hoping. No hope, but that I'm crazy enough. I mean that I was just honest with them at the doctor's office. So they'll probably say I'm nuts. So I don't care. I don't want to get a medical anymore. I don't care about that. My medical records. This is the third time that I broke my back. What the hell? My back was broken. My neck, my C5 is, remember, from the grenade. You know, there's plenty of medical, you know, and I've never gone after PTSD because I didn't want him to be able to take away my Second Amendment right. I'm smarter than that. That's why when I got out of the military, they're like, oh, well, come on, this, Desert Storm, Desert Shield, this is the time you get to say you have PTSD. I'm like, no, I'm not going to say that I have PTSD. That's not how it works. Oh, you'll get benefits later. You know, you won't want it now, but later you'll wish you had done it. I'm like, no. So I always went for my medical, my back, and my hips and, whatever I had now, I'm saying whatever, but it's okay. I've been worse, just so you know, a lot worse. I've been worse. I've been way worse than I am now. That's what's crazy about what I'm feeling now. I'm just older now. You know what I'm saying? I'm just older. I can't take it. Just, whatever. I'm not going to sit there and say that I'm some fucking statue. Oh, see, I cursed. I'm not some robot. I can't. I'm not perfect. I'm an eternal being, but the flesh is only going to last for so long. I may have overdone it a little bit in life. You know what I mean? I may have overdone it a little bit too hard, a little too hard, too many times. But I didn't miss out on life. You're gonna pay for that later. Shut up. I'll be fine. So as long as I can keep it below my hip or above my hips, I'll be fine. You know what I'm saying? Because once it goes below my hips, I've talked about that before. Yeah, no, I mean, I told you, I've heck yeah, you know what I'm saying? I've had 3 lives, 5 lives, 8 lives, 9 lives, like a cat or something. Damn, how many times you gonna bring me back here, Father? you know, uh, I don't know how many times I've cheated death or whatever. I mean, I still find it hard that I can hear out of my ear, and I can, although like I told you, my vision's scarred from from the flash. It, obviously it scarred my retina. I can still. It was so weird the other day when I went to take that test for Social Security. I can't see. I couldn't see out of my left eye. I couldn't read the damn thing. They said, "See, is go down as far as you can, read." And I remember when I used to be able to read the bottom of it, no problem. I mean, easily. I had CDL. I could read it every time. Read as far as you can read down. Read the bottom. Like, okay, thanks. So, I covered up. I said, well, I've had this issue. She said, yeah, I see you got hit with a grenade. It's in my medical files. And but I said, well, can I look with my left eye? She said, yeah, you can cover up one eye. So I covered that eye, and I'm like, because at first I kind of looked at that eye first, because I do tend to now, I'd like to swear I only have one clear spot in my vision. This, wherever that little Mars spot in this eye was all blurry. So I have clearer vision other than the big whatever that's in my eye. And not clear, you know what I'm saying? And I think, remember, this eye is trying to always focus. So this eye has now become lazy to make up for the whatever in my vision. So now this eye I can't even hardly see, I was like, whoa, I can't. I said, can I use this eye for a second? She said, yeah, because she, and then I looked through that little clear slit and, whatever to the left of that big flashbang, and I read like a couple of them down, so something's definitely going on with my vision too. Oh, that's crazy. And I can see out, but that's more of a, a close up thing. That's a farsightedness, right? So, or nearsightedness. So, and I should have known that, but I didn't test my eyes like that. I haven't tested my eyes like that, you know what I'm saying? And then I didn't realize till I went like this. I went, oh crap. Sabrina, it made my heart jump, you know what I'm saying? It made my heart jump when I went like this. I went, oh shit, I can't read it. It did. I was like, oh crap, how could I not? I mean, that's supposed to be my good eye, and I couldn't get it. It was just all blurry. I couldn't make out the, and then actually when I covered it out, because I went back and then I said, can I do that again? And then, I read it and I couldn't make it out. And the only way I could do it was just, it's like I have a narrow vision now. So it is what it is. My brother always had one eye, and he always fooled, for a long time. He drove with his commercial license, and he couldn't see out of that eye. He got hit when he was real young, and he couldn't see out of that eye. So he had to wear a patch and stuff when he was young. I mean, he had just blurred vision. I'm sure his was a lot worse than mine. This was like, I could see. He could only barely see, just make out silhouettes with his eye, basically, is how blind he was in that eye. He could still see it. So it was crazy, man. Yeah. That made my heart jump. I was like, dude, holy crap. Dude, I'm screwed. So I need to get done with what I'm going to get done with, guys. I need to finish it up. I do. I need to finish it up. I need to get retired and be done with whatever I'm going to do. Seriously, I don't mean to go there. I don't know how much longer my body's going to hold out. It's breaking down. It is. I've been a veteran of, law enforcement, and drove a CDL for, I have a commercial license, started driving a lot, sat on my freaking wallet for a lot of years. That was the stupidest thing. I don't know. Dad, you better not be in her food. Don't you be sneaking and eating her food. That's the kitty's food. That's not your food. See, but Dad, you put a little bit of grease on there for her. I smell that grease in the bottom of that bowl. You're licking your chops, boy. You're licking your chops. No, don't get on top of me. Don't get on top of me. Look at this dog. He's literally trying to freaking get on top of me. You're such a silly boy. Yeah, I'll be all right. I'll figure it out. when I go, when it goes, it goes. I just want to be ready. That's what I'm saying. I kind of see things ahead of time. So I got to get myself, in a mindset and ready to, you know, I don't know if I'll last you know, till my back surgery or not. So we'll see. That's all I'm trying to do. I don't think that by the time I got out of here, I could go have back surgery immediately. But I bet you, 3 or 6 months after getting out of here, I could probably have that surgery ready, and find a doctor and have it done, you know, and then maybe I can get my, accept my physical back, I don't know what to do about the mental anymore. I don't. I have no idea how to get over this Elijah thing, but just keep it in Father's hands is all I can do. You get up every day and like, you know what? Uh, Father's got him where he wants him to be. If he would call me, if there was a glimmer of hope, it doesn't mean I'm going to stop thinking about him. I don't have to stop thinking about them. They can say that I can't talk about them to them, but I can still talk about them here, and I can still think about them. So, and yep, I just got to take it easy, or I'm not going to make it. I'm not going to be able to do what I did. I was looking at it today. You know what I'm saying? There's no such thing as magic. So, no magic. Oh, do you believe in magic? So that's why I'm just gonna take it easy. That's the thing. For now, the only thing that I'm gonna do is show up at my. Hey, would you please, Mr. Pants? Hey, I know he feels you feel Dad's pain in the back. He's trying to be a lover. Trying to be a lover. I know you're trying to love on Dad, huh? You're a good boy. You're my Bessie guy. You're the bestest guy I've ever did, Bessie. How could I not love you? You're the best one I've ever had. You're my best guy. You're such a good boy. Freaking dog. Oh my goodness. Okay. Let's wrap this up, guys. I don't know what was it about 10 o'clock? 10:40? Something. Yeah, okay. Time to go. Pastor Revelation, Pastor.